It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Good afternoon. We are at Twin Peaks in Tempe. Big Thursday. Let's get to it. What's worse, a walk-off loss or blowing a 6-run lead in the ninth? Well, ask the Giants, up 9-3 last night, ninth inning, and they lose. It's the first time it's happened to that franchise in 143 years. And the grand slam that started it, Gino Suarez, an old friend, and you will hear it all in the rewind. And by the way, after the game, the Giants waved him. Yeah, you hit a grand slam and you get waved.
Reds wave him.
Reds waved him.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Reds waved him. But how about that? So the Giants, well, D-backs, they're up next with them. Pro Bowl, it's dead. The NFL killed it yesterday. The game gone after 88 years. And Shannon Sharp says, don't blame the league, blame the players. We'll get into that. We'll cut the weekend. Of course, we got it going on with the Cardinals tomorrow, preseason game against Green Bay. One last look at Carson Beck, question mark. Corners, pass rush, 40 guys playing for a job. We'll get into that. College football starts tonight, finally. And Bob Nightengale, USA Today, he'll join us on the wild card race. D-backs, Steve Helwagen, number 1 Ohio State in hour number 2. Howard Balzer, Cardinals in hour number 3. Got Roc's Man Vice today. You'll hear Charles Barkley today unloading. We got Twin Peaks Picks with Bridget, who is up for a big, big award that we'll get into. She'll join us at 2:45. You'll want to be watching us on YouTube for sure for that. But it's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio 620 on FM at 98.7 HD2. Here's our sports app and, of course, as I mentioned, YouTube. Let's start with the Diamondbacks. Yesterday, we got into it a little bit when it ended, but, of course, they take the Cubs 2 of 3. Eddie Rodriguez was the whole story. 7 shutout innings, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts on 104 pitches. Total command all afternoon. Hopefully you got to see it. Got some pop out of Jordan Lawler with a solo shot. He was 2 for 3 on the day. Perdomo, he chipped into a couple of hits. Ryan Walschmidt, who's becoming a fan favorite, he drove in an insurance run in the 8th. So looking good. They held the Cubs to a 0.69 average. How about that? As they only managed 2 hits. But here you got a Giants team that is coming off a horrific loss last night. And I don't know how you rebound from that. Or it'll be the opposite, and maybe the Diamondbacks don't want to face a Giants team that just got beat in the 9th inning yesterday.
Well, catch them while they're down, right, Roc? I think those are some of the things you got to do is, hey, look, this team is got to be sulking a little bit, but you got to shake it off. D-backs going in there. Doubleheader on Saturday. I mean, when's the last time this team's played a doubleheader, or have you seen any doubleheaders in Major League Baseball, period? But I think this is the time you take advantage of it. I mean, you got 4 games. If you can win at least 3 of 4, hold serve and stay right there at the 3rd or 2nd spot of the wild card. And then you got the Phillies coming back in town on Monday. So you got Sunday off and come back for 3 games set on against the Phillies on Monday. You know what? Hey, take advantage of it. This team is down. They're not playing good baseball at all. To your point, they gave up a phenomenal lead. And, if they're hurting, take advantage of it, play good baseball, but just make sure you can out-hit your opponent's effort and to reference what San Francisco's coming off of.
So it's interesting with the twin bill on Saturday, no game on Sunday. This actually is going to work out well for the Diamondbacks. But the Giants had a game back in June against the Braves. It got rained out and was rescheduled for Monday, the 31st, which happens to be the day right after the original Sunday finale in San Francisco. So rather than force the Giants to play Sunday, then fly across country for a Monday makeup game, the 2 teams agreed to move the Sunday game to Saturday as a split doubleheader. So that gives both clubs the day off on Sunday, which I'm sure the Diamondbacks will take a day off anytime they can. So I thought that was cool that, it works out well, have a free Sunday. And because it would have, the free Sunday basically breaks up what would have been a run of 12 straight games, gives them a travel day before the Phillies series and Chase on Monday. So you don't see these split doubleheaders often, but it means 2 separate tickets. The park empties. Thank goodness it's in San Francisco, not here at Chase.
Yeah, and that'll be interesting to see who they get for the second game. Currently, the first game, Merrill Kelly's on the mound. They have not mentioned anybody as far as the second part of that twin bill on Saturday. And then tomorrow, you got Cabrera on the bump tonight against Root. No mention yet of who they're going to go with tomorrow. And basically all you have as far as your rotation, Cabrera tonight, Kelly, Fott, and Rodriguez. After that, you go with Drake. You bring Brad up after about a week or so. Doesn't look like Corbin Burns is coming up anytime soon. And I think the other thing, too, with that day off on Sunday is if they're scheduling, if they have Ketel Marte coming back next week, that'd be a great day, I feel, for them to come back, maybe have a meeting early Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, have him come in, talk to the ball club, go through it if you're looking to bring him back against the Phillies. I think at that point you clear the air.
So when it comes to Corbin Burns, I want to mention this, Manuch, that he did throw 1 inning, 13 pitches in a bridge camp game 2 days ago, and then another 11 pitches in bullpen. So it looks as though it's being reported that he'll potentially join the AAA Reno team tomorrow or this weekend. So he'll get some work down there. CBS currently has him projected to be out until at least Friday, September 11th, which lines up with the idea that Arizona wants to build him through several rehab outings, and then they'll put him back in the rotation. So the reason it's taking a little longer, he was this Tommy John surgery but he suffered some type of strain back in May, so that really pushed back the timetable. I think a lot of us thought he'd be back in August, but here we are. We'll take him in September.
Yeah, it's like a latissimus strain, lower back, upper back, whatever it was. And that makes sense. They come out the road from Kansas City. They'll take on the Rangers for 3. And they'll be home for, looks like, 9 games. They got Texas, Miami, and the Yankees here. So it'll be well put. But I'm wondering, how long does he go? Does he go like 3 innings like they did with Soroka when he came back? I think Soroka was like 55 pitches. Then the next outing, he was like 65. So I got to imagine they'll monitor his pitch count when he comes back. And I would just say long relief would be somewhat the answer if Corbin Burns comes back. He goes 3 or 4 innings at the most. So it seems as though it's the pitch count getting these guys back involved. Ryan Nelson looks like he may be done for the year. And Zach Gallen, that's another question mark to see whether he comes back, to your point, Rock, in mid-September as well, too. Because, we've only got, 4 weeks and 3 days left in this season for them fighting for that last wild card spot.
Yeah, I'm glad. Playoff baseball, let's have it. I think we all want it, and it'd be great to see it. It's just it's going to come down to the wire, and then we'll say it. Beat the dead horse here. It's going to come down to that last series with San Diego.
What's your thoughts about if Ketel does come back against the Philadelphia Phillies? To maybe everybody gather the troops on that Sunday afternoon or Sunday late morning.
It's a day off, Manuch.
I know it's a day off, but this is a rare.
They don't want to come in.
Well, here's the thing: a lot of guys.
Why would they come in? You don't know that.
They've said a lot of guys come. They do their weights, they do their stretching, they do their running.
You really think they're going to do that in September or end of August?
Well,
I think they're looking forward to this day off. And Torrey's going to say, "You guys stay away from the park." And you really think what Ketel Marte has done to them? We're going to have a meeting. Ketel wants to address you. Everybody's going to screw him.
Well,
it's my day off.
I get it, I understand, but there are the one-offs. They are in a race for the wild card.
They need rest.
Well, a lot of them rest by going in and stretching. They get their treatment. They get their weights in. They sleep in. They come back. All I'm saying is, at some point, if he comes back for this Philly series after San Francisco,
who the hell?
You know what? Well, that's one thing with the fans, but I'm sure they'll have some kind of a big meeting before the series gets going. I don't know. I'd rather them come in, get it out of the air, come back Monday. You're good to go without this hanging over them, and then having that minutia in the locker room, and then going and having to play a ball game after that, maybe 1 hour meeting or what have you. That's how I'd look at that.
We'll see. I disagree with you.
That's okay.
I mean, I completely disagree with you.
That's all right.
I think this team is basically giving the FU to Cattell, and maybe there's one or two guys that,
Well, I agree with you. I think that they should have, my opinion, I don't think he should come back for the rest of the year.
No, he's done.
I mean, they're playing well. They're right there in the hunt. They're only one game back of that third spot. Move forward with what you have. You got a few guys coming back off the injured list. Just go with the hand you're dealt and work it from there. And I think the fans would have so much more respect for this organization, for Troy Lavello and Mike Hazen to say, you know what, three strikes, you're out. We're moving on without you.
All right, long week. Well, Thursday secure. Twin Peaks has the ice-cold Michelob Ultras, the Bud Lights at 29 degrees, scratch-made food, got some broccoli here, and the game's on every single TV. So kickoff tonight. What did I see? Like North Dakota State, Jackson State.
Yes.
Jacksonville State, or is Jacksonville State? Yeah,
Jacksonville State.
That's where Coach down at Tucson.
Oh yeah,
He's
Rich Rod.
Rich Rod was there. Yeah. All right, coming up, replay rewind. What's worse, a walk-off loss or blowing a 6-run lead in the ninth? We'll get some sound of the Giants' historic collapse, courtesy of an old friend who may end up as a Diamondback again, Gino Suarez. Lawler goes yard. We'll get into that. Charles Barkley unloads. You're going to want to hear that, especially if you're getting caught up in this WNBA stuff. As he was Charles, and we all love Charles when he speaks. So that's all coming up next. It's Roc and Manuch today from Twin Peaks in Tempe.
Fight night is back, and the only place to catch every punch, kick, and knockout is Twin Peaks. Settle in with scratch-made favorites, legendary wings, and 29-degree drafts that hit colder than a heavyweight takedown. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you won't miss a moment. Grab your crew and make it a fight night to remember. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Rock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at RightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at RightToyota.com.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com. Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
This September, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B take over DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the Friday football lock-in. Think you know football? Prove it. Pick 5, take the call-in challenge, and play for cash giveaways. Real competition, real money, more ways to win. No purchase necessary, no bet required. Join Roc and Manuch Fridays from 1 to 4 at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. Friday football lock-in. Only on ESPN Phoenix 620.
Now it's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Rock decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD2.
Well struck to right off the bat of Lawler. Suzuki looking. Oh, there it goes. Opposite field shot for Lawler, his third of the season. Diamondbacks strike first in the bottom of the sixth. It's 1-0.
And then they go on to win 2-0. They will play the Giants in San Francisco today, tomorrow, and 2 on Saturday. Then they'll be back Monday to play the Philadelphia Phillies. But what happened last night with the Reds and the Giants was a complete meltdown. And not sure what's worse, a walk-off loss like this, a walk-off loss or a blowing a 6-run lead in the ninth. So as we rewind into last night, Giants led the Reds 9-3 going into the ninth, and they give up 7. 5 relievers combined to cough up 8 runs in the final 3 innings, including 7 in the ninth. It snapped a streak of 2,208 consecutive wins when leading by 6 or more in the ninth. A run that dated back to when the franchise was in New York. It's the largest ninth inning lead ever blown by the Giants. And guess who walks into that building tonight? The Diamondbacks, of course. And you had a manager that got ejected yesterday. Just a complete mess. But we want to bring some sound back to you. We'll start with Tyler Stephenson's pinch hit RBI single. I think that's what we're starting with. Let me double check that. No, we're going to start with Gino's grand slam, who, by the way, was released after the game. Put on waivers. But here he is hitting a grand slam in the top of the ninth.
And then Suarez had a hit off by him up the middle. This is in the air. Pretty deep left center. Got a chance. Going away. Gilbert against the wall and gone. A grand slam for Eugenio Suarez. And somehow the Reds are within a run. And still nobody out. This would be the most miraculous of all comebacks ever. Reds entered the ninth, down 9-3. It's 9-8.
What a great game to call. And then Tyler Stephenson with the RBI single, pinch hit RBI single to make the score 10-9.
Turned out over short base hit. Reds lead. What a rally. McLean scores. They come off the mat from down 6, top 10-9 in the ninth. A 7-run ninth inning. Oh.
That's a game that, as a broadcaster or
Sure.
a fan that's watching it, your team comes back, you'll never forget.
No.
Never forget.
If you're watching that at home and it's getting close, and after Gino Suarez hit that grand slam, you're literally standing there. They get a couple base hits, and then Stevenson comes up there and gets that base-winning knock, and then the Giants go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the ninth inning.
All right, switching gears. Charles Barkley, our guy, the Phoenix Sun forever. Chuck, there's no filter. There's no PR person in his ear. There's just Chuck. This time, he's going right at the league commissioners over trans athlete debates in women's sports, and he does not hold back. Here's the best. This is Charles Unfiltered. It's 54 seconds, and it's worth every second.
I always support the gay community. I always support the transgender community. I got none but love and respect for gay people and transgender people. But under no circumstances do I think men should play against women. 0. I'm disappointed in Adam Silver and Kathy, the commissioner. First of all, you can't let stupid stuff go out to the internet, which is one of the worst things that ever happened to the world. They should have come out 2 weeks ago before all this, the people are looking for attention now. Just say,
including this guy.
But he has a point, though, because Kathy and Adam haven't said, hey, it's in the title, WNBA. We're not going to have transgender people in the WNBA, and we're not going to discuss it again. That's what Adam and Kathy should have done 2 or 3 weeks ago before they turn it over to the internet and every fool, idiot, and jackass to have an opinion on.
So that's Chuck being Chuck. Says exactly what he thinks every time, whether you agree or not. And that's why he is not arguably, the most listened man in sports.
It's just a common sensible retort. It's common sense. And I agree with him. It's like, why doesn't Adam Silver and this commissioner get ahead of it and say at no time will a transgender female play in the WNBA or at all? It's like they kind of skirt around it. You read something the other day that they don't want any guys playing in basketball, but they want to be they want to make sure they're all inclusive with transgender. Well, excuse me, that's still a person born a male that's trans to a female. What's the difference? It's like they're trying to satisfy everybody. And that's why I think with Sophie Cunningham, the way she came out and said, hey, look, I want to protect the girls for this sport, that it's girls and girls only. And she got a backlash. I'm like, what's the backlash? I mean, if it's purely girls, why are you even hinting that transgender might sneak in the back door? It drives me nuts. And you know what, Charles? Kudos to you. I mean, I second the motion. I second they continue to harp on that. But he's right. So Adam Silver and this commissioner said, look, at no point are we looking for a transgender to enter the WNBA, period, full stop.
All right, so the Cardinals, one preseason game left tomorrow night against Green Bay in Green Bay. Big story on the defense this week. Josh Sweat finally off the PUP. He's back on the grass. Here's the head coach, Mike LaFleur, talking about Sweat.
It was great to have him out there. And you can just, when you get some of those pieces out there, you can feel it within the other guys too. They were happy to see him. Again, it's according to plan. It's right on schedule in terms of, when he was going to get out there. He'll be out there again today doing some individual drills, and we'll just kind of take it one practice at a time.
So it sounds like the individual drills, he's working at it. And if he's not going to play, obviously, this game tomorrow night. But those individual drills at some point in time, if he goes team by the end of next week and goes team the following week, because he'll have a good 2 weeks prior to the first game against that LA Chargers team, he's got to be good to go. He's got to be 100%. He's ready. And I think from that standpoint, you miss a lot of practice. I don't care if you're a veteran or not. You want to make sure you're good to go because he's going to be relied upon as far as that pass rush is concerned. Otherwise, they have no pass rush without this Josh Sweat playing in that first game against the Chargers.
And how about the setting for the finale? Lambeau Field, the frozen tundra, well, in August. But for a lot of these young Arizona Cardinal players, tomorrow night's probably the first time they've ever run out of the tunnel there. Here's Michael Wilson on what it's like being in Green Bay.
Yeah, you guys got green and gold, but to me, this Cardinal red is the best color in all football. It was good. I mean, coming from our last practice was at 1 o'clock in Tempe, Arizona, so it was like 1:15. I thought I was about to die out there. So to come out here, and that's probably honestly why we were a little asleep, because the weather, it was too good. There wasn't enough adverse condition, and so that's probably why this feels like I was inside in my living room. But this is a beautiful place. It's an amazing facility. I think all the players just blown away by how nice the grass is. The facilities are amazing. The people, the fans, it's a really good football organization, and it's special to be a part of.
And I'll tell you, I was very fortunate when I was an intern with the Indianapolis Colts to play Green Bay, and I know you tried out for them. And just to be able to walk on the field is very similar. I did it in a preseason game. Very similar, and people are going to laugh at me, but I don't give a you-know-what. You can switch channel. It was comparable in a way to being at the Masters at Augusta. Yeah. It was so plush, so amazing that you're walking on it and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Same what happened in Augusta.
It is. It's a matter of fact, my rookie year, I was holding, so we played Green Bay in Green Bay, and I'd be out there holding for Tom Dempsey. I thought the same thing. The first you notice, it's the grass. It's like a Kentucky bluegrass mixed with the Bermuda, and it's so pristine. You're like, wow. And I literally, when I'm holding, I'm down on a knee and I'm pointing to the spot on the grass. I'm starting to pick at the grass. I'm like, this is awesome. And you do have a kind of a wow moment, a aha moment.
This tradition.
It is.
Just Green Bay is a cool place. I've been fortunate to go to a couple games there too, but it's just it's an amazing place. Love the cheeseheads.
You do one of those, at least I did. We're warming up, throwing. I literally stopped before the rest of the guys came out. And I just did the 360 rock, and I went, wow, this is Lambeau. This is the frozen tundra.
So you got out there early because that's the only time you would have ever been on the field?
No, I was out there for warm-ups. Yeah, I was out there. I was warming up. Third-string guy. I'm out there throwing, man. It's funny you bring that up because it's like you're so jacked up because it's Lambeau.
Yeah.
And you're excited to play the Packers. It's like our third preseason game, my rookie year. And guys like Manuch, just settle down because I'm humming it.
Yeah.
I'm going to quick slam the shoulder. And Franklin was like, hey, yo, Rook, let's just chill out a little bit.
Hey, today's Replay Rewind is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe. Interact. Need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Always available to you at lernerandrowe.com. All right, Bob Nightengale of USA Today on the D-backs playoff pulse, the Giants' historic meltdown, and baseball coming to a labor war. Hopefully we have time to get into that as well. But here's Laz with our first Twin Peaks sports update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs took 2 or 3 from the Cubs in what was a much-needed series win as they look to continue gaining ground in a tight NL wildcard race. The Snakes now welcome division rival San Francisco to town for the start of a 4-game weekend set. Jose Cabrera, who was just recalled from AAA, gets the start for the D-backs tonight with first pitch set for 6:40 and pregame coverage getting underway at 6 on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B Sports Update is powered by Twin Peaks. Football season starts at Twin Peaks, so get your league together and host your fantasy football draft party at your local lodge. And commissioners will get a $50 Twin Peaks gift card. Enjoy ice-cold 29-degree Bud Light and Michelob Ultra drafts, made from scratch food, wall-to-wall TVs, and everything that you need for draft day.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
This September, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B take over DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the Friday football lock-in. Think you know football? Prove it. Pick 5, take the call-in challenge, and play for cash giveaways. Real competition, real money, more ways to win. No purchase necessary, no bet required. Join Roc and Manuch Fridays from 1 to 4 at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. Friday football lock-in. Only on ESPN Phoenix 620.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner and Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Hey, it's Jimmy B. Football season is here, and there's never been a better time to grow your business. Partner right now with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, with live endorsements, show sponsorships, featured segments, remote broadcasts, and so much more. YouTube, social media, and commercials, all built around your goals and your budget. Visit rocandmanuch.com and click advertise. Let's grow your business together.
Looking for a new ride? Make the right choice. Ride Honda in Scottsdale. Whether you're shopping for a fuel-efficient Civic, a family-friendly CRV, the rugged Passport, or the all-new Accord, Ride Honda has the selection, value, and customer service Arizona drivers trust. Plus, their experienced service team is here long after the sale. Visit the showroom on Scottsdale Road just south of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard or shop anytime at RightHonda.com. That's RightHonda.com, where Arizona drives. Right Honda.
Living in the Valley of the Sun means we're always battling the heat on the golf course, at work, or just getting through the day. To stay sharp, you need more than energy. You need hydration. You need Phoenix Hydration Energy. spelled Phoenix, like the city we love. Phoenix gives you clean, natural energy from green tea, plus 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. No crash, no junk, just pure performance. Grab Phoenix Hydration Energy today at 7-Eleven, Quick Trip, or Circle K. Phoenix Hydration Energy. Rise up.
Then she's
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Man Talent. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
The 2-1. Swung on and hit high. It's hit deep. It's on its way. Good night. It's a game winner for Ryan Waldschmidt. 2-run homer, his second walk-off home run this season. And the Diamondbacks stun the Cubs 5-4.
That was a lot of fun the other night. Well, 5 weeks left. Baseball's kind of gone sideways. You had a first-place team that just fired their GM. You have an entire division that's under 500. And the Giants, as we talked about last segment, suffered the worst ninth-inning collapse in 143 years of their franchise history. And joining us now, he does it all. Nobody covers it all like this man from USA Today. Bob Nightengale joins us here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. By any chance, were you at the game last night, Bob? The big meltdown in San Francisco?
No, I was here in Phoenix watching that game, the Diamondbacks Cubs.
Man, wasn't that something? I can't believe that. That's just what do you think? What kind of team's going to wake up tonight? You know, with a Giants team. What do you expect when you lose like that? And now, of course, they got the Diamondbacks in town tonight.
Yeah, it's been a horrible season for the Giants, and I mean, what can go wrong has gone wrong. It's not. I don't think they're going to come in with any different mindset. I think in the local Webb pitching. I mean, Webb's a great pitcher. Otherwise, I don't think it has a carryover, but they'll have a carryover in the ninth inning. They do have a lead.
So for the D-backs, 69-63, 6 games into the toughest month of their schedule. From a national view, we know you live here and you follow the Diamondbacks, but are they a real wild card team, or maybe a team that contenders are they're happy to see?
You talking about the Diamondbacks?
Yes, Diamondbacks.
Yeah, they're certainly legitimate postseason contender for sure. They're hanging right there in the wild card race, just 1 game back. Beat up the Cubs 2-3. Doing this with all the hoop and distraction with the Ketel Marte. So no, I think it's going to go down to the wire. I still think Philadelphia gets a spot, and the Cubs are going to get a spot. So it's pretty much the Diamondbacks and Padres, I think, going for that last spot. The Padres had a terrible series against Pittsburgh, could barely score, and then the Diamondbacks had a great series. So they wound up with 3 games in San Diego. So as long as no one separates themselves, should be a dramatic conclusion.
Bob, it's got to be very difficult for this group with basically really legitimate 3 starters, Kelly, Pott, and Rodriguez. Looks like Cabrera's going to be on the bump tonight. But after that, it looks like there's a couple holes in the schedule moving forward. Does Drake come back up? And whether Corbin Burns comes up in the next 2 or 3 weeks or not, how are they going to handle some of the holes in the starting rotation?
Well, I think Zach Gallen will come back first, before Burns. He's certainly ahead of him. So I think he comes back in some capacity, either as I would think probably as a starter, or Corbin Burns is further back, so he'd probably come back as a reliever sometime in mid to late September. And the Gallen's not eligible for September 9th anyway. So I think with the off days, you're going to pitch Rodriguez as often as you can, and same with Pott as often as you can.
Do you bring Bratt back up with the next couple weeks? He gets things straightened up down there, and maybe throw him into the rotation if those aforementioned individuals you mentioned aren't ready to go.
Yeah, certainly could. We saw wonders that Doug Drabeck, that AAA pitching coach, did with Brandon Font. Look how well he's pitched since he's come back up. So maybe he works his magic also, there. So, yeah, no, I think he'll, as long as he starts pitching well at AAA, I would definitely expect Brett to be up there.
So all things are on the table, it sounds like, from there. It looks like this team, from what you can tell with this whole Ketel Marte fiasco, in my opinion, it seems like this team has settled down. Seems like they're settling in and they're moving forward. If they were, Bob, to bring Ketel Marte back, what kind of ball club, what kind of clubhouse do you feel they're going to have? And what are some of the notions, per se, that they're looking to do before they bring him back, i.e. maybe a team meeting or something along those lines?
Well, I don't think he's going to be allowed to play unless he does have a team meeting and addresses what happened. He's got to apologize. He's got to apologize to players, management, coaching staff. I mean, he's embarrassed the organization. The organization looks terrible. He's making everybody look bad. The front office, Lavello, what have you, and teammates are upset. A few are say, okay, might be forgiving. Others are saying that want no part of him. So it'll be very interesting to see when he comes back. It's keep passing.
Bob, do you think there was a different way that this front office could have handled that?
Yeah, I just think that they've been putting up with this stuff for way too long. They kind of created this. And, there's no discipline. I mean, how can you allow a guy to go AWOL and say, I can't wait to come back? He's always march his own drum. As the player said to me, he said, well, I guess we can start showing up late to team meetings. If you're not going to discipline this guy, we can dog a ball to first base and don't run things out. I mean, here's Nolan Arenado playing with one knee, trying to, run as hard as he could, get thrown at second base yesterday. And, here's a guy perfectly healthy. I mean, everybody's got something to blame. That's not, not really an injury. And they're elected to take the time off. So, it's going to be very interesting to see just the dynamics in that clubhouse. I mean, some of those relationships to be severed forever. I still think it's going to be very hard to have both Lavello and Marte back in the same team next year, just because I think players were so upset the way he's, kind of coddled Marte.
Do you think, I want to ask you about that real quick. You brought up Torey Lavello, he's final year of his contract. Do you see a scenario? He's been able to navigate through all these injuries, the pitching, and then the Marte mess. Could he get another year because of that?
Well, I think the Marte mess hurts him. And it hurts credibility in the game, hurts credibility in the clubhouse. Just letting a guy get away with all this stuff and not really disciplining him. So, I think if they make the playoffs, particularly if they win the first round, then I think he's safe. I think if they don't make the playoffs, he's in real trouble. And if he does get let go, he can blame Marte.
I think on the bright side, then, Bob, we kind of turn the page on that. The young guys, you look at Tawa, Lawler, Waldschmidt, even Fernandez, how well he's playing since he came back up. It's got to be a bright spot that these young men look like they're finally gaining some traction with Major League pitching, Bob.
Yeah, they've done well. They don't have the big names like the Phillies do or the Padres do, and they're hanging with them in the wild card race. But yeah, these guys just get better, and this is a great learning experience for those guys. And then, of course, being part of a playoff race is only going to help them for the future. I think everybody knows the talent that Lawler has. Now that it's healthy, we're seeing it.
So what do you do when Lourdes Gurriel comes up, and how close is he to coming back?
It sounds like he's getting close. He's had a rough season. I mean, it'd be hard to think that they'd probably bring him back, exercise that club option for $14 million. That's probably a long shot. But, he needs, if he's going to be a free agent, he needs to play well here down the stretch just to help his home market. But I don't think they're just going to say, okay, you got starting left field, not where those guys have played. So I think probably in and out of the lineup. I certainly don't expect him to be an everyday guy, not with the way the young guys are playing.
Bob, it seems as though Gabby Moreno's pretty much carried this team the last 6 weeks. Have you talked in reference to his approach at the plate and what flipped with his script as far as having so much success at the plate?
Yeah, just a what a great trade that was. Getting him, and I know they've been trying to extend him, and he said, "Wait a minute now, I'm one of the best young catchers, one of the best catchers in the game," and he is. So no, and I don't know what the difference with mechanics or anything like that, but a young guy, and he's a guy that's around the middle lineup. He used to cover the Dodgers when Mike Piazza was there. I mean, he can be that type of guy, not the same type of power, but certainly that dangerous of a bat.
Bob Nightengale, USA Today, Roc Manuch, ESPN Radio Phoenix. I want to go back to Zach Gallen. They're saying that mid-September, maybe early September. And what do you expect? I mean, what's your expectation of him? Are we going to see maybe if we get anything even close to the old Zach Gallen, because he could really be a difference maker in this playoff race?
Well, it could be. At least he'll give you, good, strong 4 or 5 innings when he goes out there. So, yeah, I mean, obviously he struggled this year. He also knows it's very imperative for him to have a strong finish. I mean, he's going to be a free agent. And how you finish, people are going to remember that this winter. If he struggles down the stretch, kind of forces him to almost get take a 1-year contract somewhere, where if he finishes strong, exactly at the blip on the screen, we'll go back to what he's done in the past and get his 3, 4, 5-year deal.
Bob, looking at the Milwaukee Brewers, 82 wins. Looks like they're going to win that National League Central. What is it when you watch them? And I don't get a chance to watch them day in and day out or pay attention to them like you do. What is it they're doing now that Coach Murphy is doing with that team that will sustain them through the playoffs and maybe win the pennant?
Well, I mean, he's already won back-to-back Manager of the Year awards. What he does when he calls guys out, when he takes guys, out of the middle of the game, is almost like, the anti-Lovello in the sense where he's not coddling guys. You better play right for him. You better play hard, or you're not playing. I mean, young guy there today, the shortstop, taking him off the field. He got stuck at the first base, but thought he should have been at second base. And he's done that like 4 or 5 times. And, the team is perfect for him. It's a young team. He can discipline them and mold them the way he wants. But he's a perfect buy for that team. And, they're going to be dangerous again in the postseason. We don't know about that rotation outside Mizorowski. But certainly, over a season, the way they play, they are always the best regular season team.
Houston Astros make a move at GM. So what's going on there? That was interesting.
Yeah, he was on the hot seat all year, Dana Brown, and he wasn't going to come back. I think even the won the World Series, he wasn't coming back. I remember they pulled a trade from under him. He made a trade with the Twins, and the owner rejected it. And once that happened, it was almost like the owner Jim Creighton had no faith in Dana Brown, so might as well pull the plug now. There's really nothing you can do as a GM the last 5 weeks except for sit back and watch.
Yeah, they're in first place. It just
imagine that.
It seems a little awkward, It's like maybe I'll look good on his resume for his next job. They were in first place when I got let go. But anyway, hey Bob, what are you working on? What's your next piece? What you got cooking? What are we gonna see on USA Today?
Yeah, the other thing with the players union, kind of rejecting what the owners want and put a trade freeze at trade deadline, almost like a NFL or NBA, and then doing something. Tarek Skubal, makes his debut back at Tiger Stadium or Comerica Park tomorrow. So it'll be the emotional day for the Dodgers and Tigers, and of course our fans watching Skubal face his former team for the first time.
Interesting. Good stuff. Well, I'll look forward to that. As always, Bob, thanks for jumping on with us last minute. We always appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Sure. Take care, guys. Thank you.
Bob Nightengale, USA Today. Of course, got a nice piece coming out, this whole labor war, and, of course, the return to Detroit. That should be fun.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, he and who's the other pitcher that was traded away too? Yeah, I'm sitting there as he's talking about Skubal going back there. You just go, that's stuff that just never happened. Your ace getting traded midway or at the midway point to somebody else and to the Dodgers of all people. Yeah. And then, they were hanging in there for a while. They are now as far as making the wild card, but you just never used to see that. Your ace getting traded away.
It's kind of interesting. MLB, we're out at Twin Peaks, and they got Ryan Walschmidt. They're interviewing him live from Giants in the dugout, in the Giants stadium, that is. It's kind of nice when you see a Diamondback who just made his debut in May, and here he is doing a national hit, and they're showing the walk-off home run and all that good stuff. And he's on the show called Intentional Talk, and good stuff. So you got some national coverage for the D-backs.
And good coverage versus bad coverage.
Yeah, absolutely.
The young man within 2 weeks has had 2 walk-off home runs.
Good for that. 3 home runs total?
3 total, 2 walk-offs.
Bob is joining us today thanks to All City Towing. They're, of course, Arizona's largest towing company based in Tempe. Whether you're stranded or you need a professional transport, All City Towing has the experience to get it done right 24/7, 365 days a year. They're always hiring drivers, dispatchers, administrators, guys that work in the yard. It's all at allcitytowing.com. Football is back. Yes, football is back. We'll dive into that next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner Rowe, and we've been serving Arizona's for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner Rowe, it's the way to go. On 977-1900. 977-1900.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Lace up for a great cause. Join the 33rd annual Frank Cush Youth Foundation Running for the Broads on Saturday, October 10th at Tempe Beach Park during the Four Peaks Oktoberfest. Every step helps support youth athletics, including girls flag football, Lady Hawk softball, the Frank Cush Scholarship at ASU, Tempe Sister Cities, and kids throughout our community. Register, donate, or volunteer today at Oktoberfest.run. That's Oktoberfest.run. Run, give back, make a difference.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters. And Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Right Toyota on this day report. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, on this day, on August 27th, 1982, Ricky breaks the record. Ricky Henderson swipes his 119th bag of the season, breaking Lou Brock's single-season stolen base record, which, of course, was 118. He didn't stop there. He stole 4 bases on that day. 4. Ended up finishing with 130. I think that record will never be.
I agree.
Never.
And, if he walked and got on at first base, didn't hit a home run, he was almost assured to run. I mean, allowed him to steal second, allowed him to steal third, sacrifice fly, you're up 1-0, either at the top or the bottom of the first inning.
You think of most breakable, records in sports that won't ever be broken. Of course, that's one. Wilt's 100. I don't think
I agree with
we'll
that.
see that.
Cal Ripken's.
Yeah, Cal
games.
Ripken. Clearly, Cal Ripken. There's pretty good ones out there. We know the Cardinals are going to be playing the Packers tomorrow, but on this day in 1921, the Packers were born as the league granted the franchise to Green Bay under the name of Acme Packing Company, a meat packing plant that in a town of 30,000. Of course, we all know that's Lambeau in Green Bay. And, that's 105 years of packings. Wow.
They got
How about that?
Curly Lambeau's head coach, Don Hudson, the receiver. That was for years, that team was bad, but Don Hudson, one of the greatest all-time receivers. It's kind of like the only thing people look forward to is watching Hudson catch about 6, 7, 8 passes per game back in the day.
And then in 2007, Michael Vick stands in a federal courtroom and pleads guilty in the dogfighting case, the biggest fall from grace of that entire sports era back in 2007. The highest paid player in football at that time. You think about that, the greatest, what-if career in the NFL, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, the what-if. Yeah. I wasn't a fan when he went to Philadelphia after all this stuff. He ended up being all right, serviceable.
He fought through it.
But, man, it's just
that was a
dumbass.
bold move for your owner to pick him up. But Andy Reid was there. Andy worked with him, taught him how to be more of a pocket passer. Don't always take off when you drop back. You make one read run. And just try to become more of a quarterback. And I will say this, to your point, he was very serviceable. Wasn't quite the same quarterback. He had an absolute gun. He could throw the hell out of the ball. But they kind of tempered his mobility because they wanted him to sit in the pocket. Like Donovan McNabb. If he had to come in for Donovan McNabb and try to throw the ball down the field versus running down the field.
All right, let's get to some football at 50 as the FCS season starts today. Bunch of games tonight. They get going about 3 o'clock. FBS Week 0 goes on Saturday with the opening at 9 o'clock. North Carolina versus number 23 TCU. That'll be coming to us from Dublin. And there's a little bit of a hot seat tie-in there as it's a rematch of last year's opener. And that's where TCU embarrassed Bill Belichick's debut. They beat him 48-14. And if this repeats once again, there's going to be some pretty uncomfortable questions about him to start the season.
Yeah, I think
even though their AD came out and said he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, this is not going anywhere. They start off 0-5, 0-6. That could change rapidly. Depends on what alumni are chirping there at North Carolina. They're in Tar Heel country. I think it'll be a much better team. That'd be North Carolina, but I still think TCU will win this game. But what a turnaround he's going to have to make. And I think one of the things in reading about Bill Belichick this offseason, he's starting to understand, the football mentality of a college player. He's understanding what's going on. His general manager, John Lombardi, is out for some of the shenanigans he's had. So I think from that standpoint, he's learning what the game of college football is, not so much the game, but just how these players are and how they react and just learning about the players per se.
All 4 power conferences now will ban NFL players from coming back. ACC officially joined the SEC, Big Ten, and Big 12 in prohibiting players who have been on NFL rosters from returning to play in college football. And the NFL also says if a player does return to college, he cannot come back and sign with an NFL team during this upcoming season, the 2026 season. He becomes a free agent for 2027. So I guess the discussion here, Manuch, would be, are the conferences protecting college football, or are they going to lose another eligibility fight in courts?
I don't know. This is I think to your point, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys that can't come back, there's 3 of them now. I'm sure there's others who would like to come back. How this goes to either an appellate court or a local court, a state court, I should say. The other thing, too, is the SEC also mentioned yesterday that if any coach were to bring these players back and defy the odds in reference to, let's say you win a court battle, Rock, in the SEC, and they bring a player back, they're going to suspend the head coach. They're talking about right now maybe 5 games, or they could suspend that coach the entire season. So that's also on the table. So if you're Lane Kiffin and your 2 guys say, we got a court order, we've stayed to stay. I'm having a hard time keeping all the stays. So we've stayed to stay. We're going to bring these two kids back. If you do what Sankey's saying is, well, we're going to suspend you. We're going to suspend you for either 5 games or the entire game. I'm like you. I don't think this is over, but I'm so glad everybody's in unison by saying you're not coming back. And that goes for NBA players, WNBA players, but anybody that signed a pro contract or is declared for the draft. You are done as far as college sports is concerned.
The SEC, of course, you may have seen or heard, they moved to a 9-game league schedule this season. So that guarantees 8 additional conference losses across the league compared to an 8-game format. So Georgia and Texas are viewed as the primary favorites there. But Ohio State, AP number 1, followed by Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas, and Indiana. But the bigger storyline is the Big Ten has won 3 straight national championships. So have they officially passed the SEC as the best football conference? It's a hell of a debate. And we'll get into some of that next as Ohio State opens on September 5th. We're going to catch up with Steve Helwagen from Buck Nuts and 24/7 Sports. We'll talk to him about this team as these Ohio State fans, I'm one of them, a little upset how the season ended last year. So I expect a big year from the Buckeyes. We'll get into that next. It's hour number 2. Next on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks, Tempe.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments, clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 McGuire's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Monday Night Football starts early at Biggs with me, Jimmy B. And of course, I let Roc and Manuch hang out as well. Join us live every Monday from 1 to 4 for football talk, special guests, and your chance to win. Enter the Monday Night Tailgate. Stick around for a $25,000 halftime roll of the dice. Plus, win Biggs gift cards and even a big screen TV. Big Bud Lights, big burger specials, and big time football. Mondays are big at Biggs.
The Labor Day sales event is going on now at your 13 Valley Chevy dealers. Get exciting offers on a head-turning lineup, including Silverado, Traverse, and Trax. Plus, check out Equinox with excellent efficiency and bold design. It's the SUV that lets you take on the world in style. We have the inventory and we have the offers. Visit valleychevy.com or go to one of your 13 Valley Chevy dealers today. The Labor Day sales event going on now.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. is ESPN 620. It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Saying over the middle. And then Smith goes up and just one-hands it. What are we doing? Come on, man. Give me that. Touchdown. Buckeyes.
Oh, it's almost here. And for the Ohio State Buckeyes, maybe a redemption tour. Last year, first undefeated regular season since 2019. Then lost 13-10 to Indiana in the Big 12 or Big 10 title game, and 24-14 to Miami in the CFP quarterfinal. And of course, we know Indiana won it. But Columbus, I'm sure, has been stewing for the last 8 months over this. And we figured, hey, let's get a little check-in and catch up with Steve Helwagen, who joins us from Bucknuts at 24/7 Sports. Steve, what's happening, man? How are you? What's going on?
I'm doing great, guys. Nine days till Ohio State's opener with Ball State, and obviously the week 0 football to enjoy this weekend. How exciting!
Oh, big time! And you heard the rejoin there with the highlight saying year 2, 3,600 yards, 32 touchdown, ridiculous 77% completion rate as a first-year starter. Is the preseason Heisman conversation starting already?
Well, I think a little bit, but obviously, are he and his teammate Jeremiah Smith, are they going to split the vote when it comes to the Big Ten, Midwest, Ohio State? I mean, Jeremiah Smith, very well could be the best player in college football, presumed number 1 overall pick in the draft next year. And I was doing a show here locally yesterday, and somebody said, I've been doing this about 30 years. Is he the best player I've seen come and go at Ohio State? And I said, well, they had Orlando Pace. He's probably one of the greatest tackles in college football history. But I would say Smith's in the top 4 or 5. So he's pretty good. He's going to own every Ohio State receiving record sooner rather than later.
So, Steve, for such a young man, you watch him day in and day out. You watch him play last year. What is it that impresses you the most? And you've had a lot of great receivers come through the turnstiles at Ohio State. What is it impresses you the most about this young man that might be different from those other receivers that came out of Ohio State?
Well, I think it's a thing within this Ohio State program, just how hard they work in the off season and everything. But Jeremiah Smith supposedly is the hardest working guy on the team. The strength coach talks about anytime they do a competition, it could be February 17th, and they're doing some kind of competition. He wants to win it, and that's what sets you apart is when you're the best, you're the most talented guy, and you also work the hardest. Ain't nobody gonna beat you. So, it's that's kind of the recipe for success for him. As you said, they've had some guys, Marvin Harris is out there, and Mecca Juka did well. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jack Smith, the Jigman's the best receiver on the planet right now. So, they've had their run, that's for sure.
Yeah, don't forget Chris Carter in that mix as well there too, Steve. You want to get a phone call.
Yep. I know.
That catch,
I'll get one.
You will. That catch we hear coming back, to join us in the second hour. So how many times have you watched that, Steve Helwagen? Be honest with us. Over 100, over under 100, or what?
Well, I don't know about any one particular play. I mean, he's made so many great plays. I mean, he put the team on his back in the playoffs the year before and just dominated. Texas held him down a little bit, but Tennessee, my goodness, Oregon had nothing that they could do with him in that Rose Bowl. And certainly Notre Dame, he had to catch to steal the game. So, that's going back a year ago, and he's a year better since then. So, yeah, he's a human highlight reel. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, as Roc alluded to, Julian saying, I mean, what an impressive stats, poise, control that young man had last year for, again, another young guy. What's left for him in your eyes, and a lot of the scuttlebutt back there in Columbus about Julian saying about where does he need to grow next to keep this thing going?
Well, he's not the biggest guy. I think everybody knows that. He's a little slight. So this offseason, he really tried to bulk up a little bit. He's probably in the 6'1", 215 range, something like that. He had the third best completion percentage in the history of FBS last year, like 77%. I think the issue for him that pro scouts are going to be looking at is how does he do it in the matchup games? How does he do when he doesn't have a clean pocket? Those last two games you referenced, Indiana, Miami, combined 10 sacks, and he had 3 turnovers. One of them a pick six by Miami for a touchdown. So how does he do when things break down? Is he going to run and go get you the first down? He really didn't do that last year. So there are some areas that he can continue to grow and improve. And really, the schedule's much tougher this year. 6 ranked teams on the schedule. They're going to have a lot of matchup games, and he's got to play better in those games.
Steve Helwagen joining us, Buck Nuts, 24/7 Sports, talking some Buckeyes. Arthur Smith, the former Falcons head coach, now the OC. What is the Arthur Smith effect, you think, going to be this season? Got you, Steve? We drop him last. Sticking with it. All right, he's out there in Columbus. Hopefully we'll catch him.
Hello,
But,
can you hear me?
Arthur Smith. Yeah, we got you
got
now.
me?
Talking about the
Okay.
Arthur. Yeah, we're talking about the Arthur Smith effect. What do you expect to see?
Yeah, I think the hope is that he brings the good run concepts with him from the NFL to go with what Ryan Day has with the passing game. And 2 years ago, Chip Kelly was the offensive coordinator, and it was the most professional outfit that I've seen at Ohio State in terms of one play leading to another, the organization of everything. And that's where I think that Arthur Smith's going to bring that type of organization to Ohio State's offense. And I think everyone's excited about it. Even the guys playing on defense talk about, how impressive the Ohio State offense has been in the preseason, how organized they've been. And certainly if they can help stay and take another step, that would be huge. He worked with Aaron Rodgers last year with the Steelers. Now he's working with the Buckeyes, and hope he can do some things that put him in position to win some big games this year.
And then for the defense, Matt Patricia, year 2, they lose 8 starters on defense, 3 in the first round of the draft. What's left? I'm sure Matt Patricia and folks went to the portal, and he's probably got some pretty big players coming in.
Yeah, they lose 4 All-Americans. That's all over there on defense. Dean McDonald went first pick of the second round to the Texans. He was their first All-American defensive tackle they've had back to this name, Big Daddy Wilkinson, back in 1993. So he was an impact player at tackle, and everybody knows about Sonny Styles, Arbel Reese, and Caleb Downs. Downs now with the Cowboys. So, they got to replace a lot of those guys. They went out and got Earl Little from Florida State to play safety, replace Downs. They brought in Clay Rusaw and James Smith, defensive lineman from Alabama, and Christian Allegro, starter at Wisconsin, linebacker. He's going to start for Ohio State this year. So it'll look a little bit different, but Matt Patricia worked a miracle last year, and number 1 in yards, points allowed. We'll see if they can do anything close to that this year.
Roc alluded to Arthur Smith, and you talk about Matt Patricia. What is the Ryan Day effect that you see year in and year out, or does it change, or is he just as consistent to keep that success?
Well, we can't overlook the fact that the whole model for college football has changed in the last 5 years, and now you buy the players that you want and you retain the players that you want. They had 30 guys walk out the door after last season because they didn't like their playing time or their money, and they went elsewhere. So Ohio State's roster is going to be around $40 to $45 million. So it starts with great personnel. I don't want to say they're the Dodgers or the Yankees of college football, but they are definitely one of the half. And Day and his machinery have figured out a way to, when you lose a great player, you replace them with another great player. And that's what it's been. So you lose a great coach like Jim Knowles, you get Matt Patricia, who comes in and gives you the number one defense in the country. So it's just, he's got a way right now of managing this program that's unlike anything I've ever seen. This is like some 49ers in the 80s and 90s stuff that we're watching right now. Just need to stack up the championships to go with it.
All right, AP number one. I think you got 40 votes. Everyone's looking at Ohio State for the most part. Schedule's brutal. 6 ranked opponents, 4 on the road. Week 2 at Texas. They've never won in Austin, have they?
No. Au contraire, mi amigo. Go back to 2006. There were some cats named Troy Smith, Ted Ginn Jr., and James Laurinaitis. I think had a couple picks in that game. And they were on the cover of Sports Illustrated 24-7. I think it was Colt McCoy's. It was after Vince Young and Colt McCoy's first big start. So, yeah, it didn't go very well. But Colt got his revenge out there in the desert 2 years later. He chunked Ohio State out there. So, yeah, but no, it's been a great rivalry, and they played twice at the span of 9 months last year. Ohio State beat them in the playoffs with the Jack Sawyer play. And then they beat them 14-7 last year. They were up 14-0. And Texas scored with about a minute to go, Arch Manning. And, Ohio State held on for the win. So it's easy and can't get that team up to play Ohio State this go-round in Austin. They never will. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun environment. I was there 20 years ago. Looking forward to getting back.
I think they're a 1.5 underdog in that one already. So we'll see how that works out. And then last one, I love the business side of sports, and J.P. Morgan Chase is they did Ohio State just signed that jersey patch deal. Have you seen it? Is it going to be really big, or is it just going to be small? How are they going to utilize that J.P. Morgan Chase patch?
I think it's just going to be right there, on their breastplate there. I joked about this. Wisconsin can have Chuck E. Cheese barn. Ohio State's going with one of the world's foremost banking institutions with Chase. This is some Manchester United type stuff. So, we're, as we said, this is the new era, and that alone brings in $15 million that they could put right on NIL. So, it's just the rich keep getting richer is all it is.
Steve, we enjoy it. We can't wait to talk to you over the course of the season. Thanks for the time, as always, and Week 0 is coming up, so it's back. It's football time.
Yep. I'll talk to you guys later on.
You got it. Steve Helwagen joining us for Bucknuts 24/7 Sports. We appreciate him taking some time for us to talk about number 1 Ohio State. By the way, Upper Crust in Phoenix at the 101 in Cape Creek is your Ohio State bar this year.
Right.
One of them. So good stuff there. So check that out. Coming up next week. Anyway, we're out here at Twin Peaks. They got the nice ice-cold Michelob Ultras, the Bud Lights at 29 degrees, scratch-made food, every game lighting up on the walls. Of course, you kick off your weekend early on Thursday at the Lodge. Twin Peaks, every day is game day. All right, Rock's Man Weiss is coming up. Disney just drafted a character for all 32 NFL teams. And for the Cardinals, I don't even know what it is. So I think Laz will probably know, but we'll get into that. Because some feel that they got disrespected. Some feel they were dead on. So we'll get into some of that, as well as a new study on favorite sandwiches in every city. You may be surprised what it is, or not city, but state. May be surprised what it is in Arizona. So we'll get into all that. Rock's Man Bites coming up here from Twin Peaks, Tempe.
Make Azul Bar and Grill your new favorite hangout. Sing along with live karaoke, play bingo, catch the best local bands, or challenge your friends in the game room. Add great food, a fun atmosphere, and a place where everyone feels welcome. And you've got good times waiting at Azul, located at 3134 West Carefree Highway in Tremonto Plaza. See daily events and specials at azulgrill.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm a Attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
This September, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B take over DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the Friday Football Lock-In. Think you know football? Prove it. Pick 5, take the call-in challenge, and play for cash giveaways. Real competition, real money, more ways to win. No purchase necessary, no bet required. Join Roc and Manuch Fridays from 1 to 4 at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. Friday Football Lock-In, only on ESPN Phoenix 620.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Back in Pigs American Bar and Grill for football on Monday nights. And the halftime roll for dough is now up to $25,000. Ice cold Michelob Ultra drafts, wall-to-wall TVs. Lock it in at PigsPeoria.com. Pigs, where Peoria goes for football.
Get ready for Give-a-thon. Arizona's kids need you. And we'll share some incredible stories of hope beginning August 17th. Thanks to Mattamy Homes. The Give-a-thon is presented by your Valley Hyundai dealers and Why Refi.
Do you roll like Rock when it comes to romance?
What do you say we go out on a date? Some chicken, maybe some sex. See what happens.
Rock searches the world for tips on dating, divorce, marriage, pop culture, and even... Yeah, here's Rock's man advice.
60% of the time, it works every time.
All right, AAA asked America a simple question. Do you speed? Do you speed? 77% said yes.
Of course we do, Rock.
And here's my favorite number. Only 21% claim they never speed. 21% of this country is
not
lying.
buying that. Yes, exactly.
I mean,
not buying that.
The 101, the 60, the 202, what's the real speed limit on the 101? It's posted 60. Everyone goes 80. Yeah, I mean, come on.
And if somebody's going by you like you're standing still 80 miles an hour, you're like, oh, my gosh. So that's 100 miles an hour. You're just kind of looking around going, dude, I hope there's no unmarked police car that's somewhere in the neighborhood because you're going to get pulled over.
All right, there's a viral list going around. Words that instantly reveal your age. And I'm not going to lie, guys. This list is it might be a personal attack on this show, but so,
you thinking we can relate to all these words, Rock?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm not going to get into all of them, but some of them are like half past.
Yep.
And quarter till, right?
Yeah.
Better, which 3:45 would be all right.
Sure.
Die on that hill.
Yes.
Supper.
Yep.
Supper's one of them. There's it's more or less just pocketbook.
Yes.
Slacks.
Yes.
Pound sign.
Yeah.
Videotaping.
Yeah.
That could basically.
Sure. Yeah. Videotape. I mean, there's acronyms that they're like lickety split. That's from way back.
You think about words like maybe your parents said to you when you were a kid, or now that you cringe. I can't think of anything right now.
Or he's fat. That term was it back in the 2000s? Yeah, PHAT.
Yeah. Disney, the NFL, and Champion held an actual draft. Celebrities picking Disney characters for all 32 teams. Like Tom Brady drafted Darth Vader for the Raiders, and you're going to hear what the Cardinals got. Now, this is where I need Laz, because there's no way you'll guess it. It's Jafar and Lago.
I have no idea.
I don't even know who that
I guess
is.
it's a villain. It's a villain in Aladdin, and his loud red parrot.
Oh, Jafar.
Is that like a disrespect, or is that dead on? I mean, like I saw like some good ones. Like let me see. Bills got Beast. Patriots got Captain America. Jets were Buzz Lightyear. Browns were Pluto. Let me see some of these. 'Cause I don't know who any of these characters are. I don't have kids. I mean, Maximus was the Broncos.
With the Rams, Mickey Mouse. Had to have been.
Rams
Disneyland.
were Sully. Sully. 49ers were Stinky Pete, the prospector. Seahawks were Mine, Seagulls. I don't know any of these. Guys, do you know all this Disney stuff? Eagles were Dr. Doom.
I've heard about maybe 25% of them, but a lot of them are honestly more modern than I can even relate to anymore. I knew the guy from Aladdin. That's like the parrot and the scary looking guy. But Aladdin is like from when I was a young kid too.
Yeah. All right, Gene Simmons just turned 77, and he admitted something wild. Kiss legally cannot perform again without his permission. They sold everything to a company called Pop House. The songs, the name, the makeup. They don't own their own faces, though, guys. But
Really?
still, yeah. So it's almost like you can make an analogy like a sports translation would be like, this is like name, image, and likeness.
Right.
And Gene Simmons sold the NIL. How about that?
That's amazing. He basically sold out, but they can't have a concert without his permission. This group. He was it was last week. He was at the Angels game. Angels Royals throwing out the first pitch. He and his buddy.
New data on every state's favorite sandwich. Like New York was pastrami on rye. Got it. Makes sense. Texas brisket, of course. Sure. Maine is the lobster roll.
Yep.
Hawaii was Spam. Any idea what? And Laz, you've been born and raised here. You can toss out a
sandwich here.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting, just so you guys know,
yeah,
like Michigan was a PB&J.
Okay.
Delaware and Rhode Island was an ice cream sandwich.
But
what would be the sandwich for Arizona? What's the state's favorite sandwich according to this report?
Oh man, I have no idea. I'm going to say BLT. Let's throw BLT out there.
What do you got there, Laz?
Yeah, that's what I would have guessed. Maybe like some sort of turkey sandwich or something. We don't really have a sandwich.
There you go.
Like, is it turkey sandwich?
It's turkey sandwich.
Is it turkey
Wow.
sandwich?
That's all I read.
That's so basic though.
Yeah. I know. Well, we're a basic state. It took us so long. We're 48, right?
Yes.
I mean, all the good ones were gone.
That's
I mean,
right.
What else is left, right? Delta Dental says the going rate for a tooth is now $5.84, up 17% from last year. How about that? Tooth Fairy.
$5. What'd you get? We got a quarter.
Yeah, we got a quarter.
Yeah, there's a quarter.
Yeah.
And how did your mom or dad sneak in there during the night?
Dude, that to this day I don't know how they did.
How did they do it? You wake up, there's a quarter-inch pillow. How'd that happen?
There's no way. I would have never been able to do that.
No.
So, fellas, fashion has officially run out of ideas. Chanel just dropped barefoot heels. There's a heel under the back of your foot and nothing under the front. The ball of your foot is on the actual ground, and they're like getting $2,000 for it.
That doesn't make sense.
I see Jimmy B wearing them.
Yeah, he's because he's so fashionable, right?
Yeah, he wears Birkenstock. He says he doesn't, but he does. Those are Birks.
Oh, you know he has to.
He totally wears.
He's dialed it.
Yeah. So there's your
wow
abbreviated Rock's Man Bites. Not one of my better Rock's Man Bites. There wasn't much out there this week.
The terms of us growing up compared to the terms now. I mean, there's some terms out there, and the way that a lot of these kids talk code and texting, I think that's one of the things I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Or what does this mean?
Yeah. I think the biggest challenge, and I deal with this at the workplace, is everything is so urgent. it's like, you send somebody sends you an email, you don't respond in the first like 5 to 10 minutes. Dude, did you get my email? I'm like, dude, I'm not on email right now.
Yes.
Or same thing with text.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and there's something with the colors, right? If it's blue or it's yellow or green on your phone, it looks like you open it or not open it. I purposely won't open texts because I don't want to respond yet. Because I don't want them knowing.
I got to say, Laz, in college, they have classes for social communication, social media and or emailing.
He didn't go to it.
I mean,
he didn't go to it if they had it.
Yeah, we did.
No,
I don't remember that one. I might have skipped it. Yeah.
Yeah,
we know you skipped it, Laz.
Seriously, everything is just so urgent, has to be done yesterday, and it just drives you nuts.
Well,
like, why can't you just sit and relax? All right, you remember when you get the emails are just starting to get popular? You get an email, and you respond the next day.
Sure.
Now it's like, and then with AI, I mean, it's like it's instant.
You couldn't wait to get to your email.
You look forward to it
at night. In the
like
morning.
it's like, I mean, I know you're an old dude, so you probably get your mail every day. I get my mail once every 2 weeks. Once.
Really?
Yeah, I never get my mail.
So I'm an everyday guy.
I'm like, what am I going to? It's all junk mail. Is there anything?
There's
that episode on Seinfeld with Kramer. I just saw it last week, where Kramer goes to the mail, the postal office, and says, "I'm done. I don't want any more mail." You see that episode where he's basically saying, "Just
cut me off.
I don't want. I don't need the mail delivered anymore."
Yeah.
Like, I would love that. I would love. Who needs mail?
And
what do you get in your mail that you need? Seriously, what was the last thing you got? Like I sometimes get a card from my mom or something like that.
Sure,
That's different,
sure,
right?
yeah.
But other than that, every bill you have probably online.
It's online.
I mean, direct mail is kind of
sure
kind of taking it's done.
You know what I get a lot of?
Like, what would you really get? What is in your mailbox that you need?
We get an occasional bill once in a while, but to your point, we do everything online. We might get a bill here or something
You
that's
get the
every
bill,
3
but
months.
you don't have to pay the bill.
No, you don't.
You don't have to write a check and mail it.
And the other thing too is hey AAA, I love you. I have you. I don't need 5 pieces of mail a week about your insurance policies. I'm good. I should fill it out and say, guys, I'm good to go. I've got more than enough life insurance.
Take it off your list.
I'm just,
But again, it's wish I could just, call the postal. It's another thing. They complain about money and all this kind of stuff. Don't deliver mail on Saturday. I don't need it.
I would. That's a good point.
I don't understand why it's going this long where you have to have mail on Saturday.
You can save it.
If I want anything, I'm like, it's Instacart. It's Amazon Prime.
It's funny. I have a lot of guys. We send a lot of gift cards out to some more guests. They're like, they don't check it out. I'll get to it next week. Okay, just let you know it's there.
I'm a good 2 weeks.
Wow, I'm
sure, and I have I have like 4 businesses, so it's all going the same.
Yeah.
So like when you open up my mailbox, it says all the different businesses.
Yes,
I know he's got to be or she's got to be so pissed off because it's stuffed in there, right? Because it's like and it's all junk. It's flyers. Like I'm not gonna go to Sprouts and cut out a coupon and go there or the bulletin or whatever from the local church.
Funny you say that. We get the occasional coupons once in a while too, about once a month.
All right, Manuch's preseason Packers-Cardinals clipboard report is coming up next, right after Laz with another Twin Peaks sports update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs took 2 or 3 from the Cubs in what was a much-needed series win as they look to continue gaining ground in a tight NL wildcard race. The Snakes now head to San Francisco for the start of a 4-game weekend set against their division rival Giants. Jose Cabrera, who was just recalled from AAA, will get the start for the D-backs tonight as first pitch from Oracle Park is set for 6:45, with pregame coverage getting underway at 6 on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. Football season starts at Twin Peaks, so get your league together and host your fantasy football draft party at your local lodge. And commissioners will get a $50 Twin Peaks gift card. Enjoy 29-degree Bud Light and Michelob Ultra drafts, made from scratch food, wall-to-wall TVs, and everything that you need for draft day.
Now
you can take Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B wherever you go. Enter to win our exclusive Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B portable Bluetooth speaker. Perfect for the pool, the patio, the golf course, camping, or your next tailgate. Plus, you'll also have a chance to win a $100 Biggs American Bar and Grill gift card. Just text ESPN to 59925 to enter. That's ESPN to 59925. Brought to you by Biggs American Bar and Grill. Great food, cold drinks, and the home of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Right here on ESPN Radio 620.
Arizona. Get ready for live music and golf under the lights. Saturday, September 12th, Yellow Jacket Overtime takes over grass clippings in Tempe. See Arizona native and national recording artist Sydney Bird live at 6:30. GA and VIP tickets, private seating, and night golf foursomes are available. Plus, every ticket supports Arizona classrooms through Wishes for Teachers. Yellow Jacket Overtime, September 12th. Tickets at yjovertime.com.
Living in the Valley of the Sun means we're always battling the heat on the golf course, at work, or just getting through the day. To stay sharp, you need more than energy. You need hydration. You need Phoenix Hydration Energy, spelled Phoenix, like the city we love. Phoenix gives you clean, natural energy from green tea, plus 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. No crash, no junk, just pure performance. Grab Phoenix Hydration Energy today at 7-Eleven, Quick Trip, or Circle K. Phoenix Hydration Energy. Rise up.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner Rowe today, 977-1900.
Looking for a new ride? Make the right choice. Ride Honda in Scottsdale. Whether you're shopping for a fuel-efficient Civic, a family-friendly CRV, the rugged Passport, or the all-new Accord, Ride Honda has the selection, value, and customer service Arizona drivers trust. Plus, their experienced service team is here long after the sale. Visit the showroom on Scottsdale Road just south of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, or shop anytime at ridehonda.com. That's ridehonda.com, where Arizona drives. Ride Honda.
29 degrees. That's how cold your Michelob Ultra and Bud Light pour at Twin Peaks. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy P are live there every Thursday. Massive screens, scratch-made food, game day energy all weekend long. Twin Peaks, where every day is game day.
Rosie on house. Every Arizona homeowner's best friend for over 30 years. Saturday mornings 8 to 11 on KTAR News 92.3 FM and the KTAR News app.
Time for Manuch to do what he does best. Hold the clipboard.
As Manucci takes, slides, hit, keeps the ball 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 50, and he hauled out from behind at the 10-yard line. Manucci was wondering when he run out of gas or run out of field. He did a little of both.
Manuch dives into last weekend's quarterback play across the NFL. It's Manuch's Clipboard Report, exclusively on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Snap, 3-step drop, throwing a fade, front right corner of the end zone, has a man, it is caught. It's Simi Fielko with a touchdown for the Cardinals, who take the lead. 9:16 to play in the second. The new score, Cardinals 13, Raiders 7, 10-yard touchdown pass from Gardner Minshew.
All right, last preseason game, Packers tomorrow night in Lambeau, and then it's Chargers to start the season on the 13th of September. Of course, first game is Wednesday the 9th. We'll be out at DraftKings Sportsbook, TPC Scottsdale on that Wednesday, and then that Friday for our big promotion where you come down on Fridays during the football season, the first month or two, and we're giving away cash just for coming down. 21 envelopes, and in those envelopes are 5s, 10s, 20s, 50s, 100s. It's pretty cool. And it's going to be a great promotion. We've never done anything like this before, and looking forward to it. And then you'll be able to do some gambling with me too, if you want. I'm going to put $100 up every week and do 2 college, 2 pro, and a Monday night game, and see if I can win some money in my own money. But we're going to talk now the clipboard report for Manuch in regards to what we are going to see tomorrow or not see. First, let me ask you, Manuch, in regards to what do you anticipate who will get the most reps at quarterback?
Well, right now, I just looked into Carson Beck is to be determined as far as he goes tomorrow.
Okay.
I can imagine that Gardner Minshew will probably start for the Cardinals. He might go a quarter. And then I'd let Keaton Slovis. So if Carson Beck can play, I give him at least a good quarter and a half. I play him the entire second quarter and most of the third quarter. Let him come back out after the halftime and let him play, and then let Keaton Slovis go ahead and wrap it up. But if he's unable to go, I think you go Gardner Minshew for the first quarter and then let Slovis play it out. And I think for Keaton Slovis, who's probably going to be the odd man out with this depth chart, you'll have Carson Beck be the third string guy. But here's what's important about Keaton Slovis. If he can play well and get some good tape, and they have to waive him, then if people look at his tape, look how well he played during the preseason, then somebody could pick him up. And somebody would say, hey, look, we like what we see. We can bring him in as a third string guy, or we can bring him in on our practice squad. Now, here's the only thing. The Cardinals, if they want to keep him on the practice squad, they've got to waive him, Ron. And they got to hope nobody picks him up. So if they waive him, they can also bring him back on the practice squad. Then you'll have a guy that's your fourth guy. He knows the system, but you won't activate him because you're going to have your three guys, Brissett, Minshew, and Carson Beck. But I think if you're a Cardinal fan, if you want to see, again, some more consistency from Carson Beck, I think that's what you got to hope for. And the latest from the Cardinals is pretty much they're wait and see. As of yesterday, he did get some thrown in the joint practice, and they'll just kind of play from there. But I hope he can go, that the ribs are somewhat healed. And if you crack a rib or you have rib injuries, it never really heals until the season's over. I've been there. I've done that. You play with it. You tolerate it. You wear your plates, your rib plate, and you just hope for the best. So at that position, I hope that he can go. If not, I think it's Keaton Slovis for the majority of the game.
And then what are you seeing when you look at the depth chart in regards to the wide receiver position?
Now, this is interesting. As we heard Fehoko there, who I thought's had a very good preseason. He's also a good special teams guy. Now, after the usual suspects, Harrison, Wilson, Kedrick Bourne, the veteran, very savvy. Jalen Brooks has played really well, the 4-year veteran who came up from the Cowboys. That's right, folks. He's a 4-year veteran. So he's there. And then Reggie Virgil, who's your rookie, I think he stays. So I really think that there's a depth scenario here that Duvernay and Fehoko might be the guys that are fighting for this team. Now, the guy that's injured, it's interesting whether they keep or not, is Xavier Weaver. He's been on this team, 2 years now, the supposed home run hitter. He could be on the bubble. He could be one of those guys that's cut. So they've got to make some decisions with some of these receivers, with Virgil and Duvernay and Fehoko, to see who they're going to keep. I think they keep 5, maybe 6 receivers, but the other 2 have got to go back on the practice squad. Again, waving some of these guys through, you got to hope nobody picks them up and then come back on the practice squad.
And then staying with that same offensive side of the ball, let's talk about the running back room.
Well, right now, the only healthy guys now are, if Algier's healthy, so he's fine. Jeremiah Love will be fine. But here's the $64,000 question, Ron. What is the deal with James Conner? Will he be available? Will he be healthy to go on September 13th? Otherwise, you got Bam Knight, you got Corey Kiner, and Evan Hall. Now, I think Kiner's run the ball very well. Those last 2, they've done a good job of running the ball. So Love will be for sure. He'll be ready to go. Algier, the question mark is James Conner. But I think Bam Knight stays. And again, do you keep 4 running backs? You keep 5? I think Kiner would be the 4th guy. And if James Conner is not healthy, you got a decision what you're going to do with him.
Let me ask you, no one's really talking about James Conner. What's going on? Him and Budda Baker were really the faces of this organization. And all of a sudden, you don't hear his name up much at all. Of course, you get Jeremiah Love, first-round pick, but you're not hearing anything. Yeah, is there something going on?
Well, he's been hurt. So he hasn't been available. It's a need. So if they feel he can't go, there's a couple. I think the Cardinals are at a dilemma with James Conner. I think if they feel pretty good, they feel pretty good right now with Love and Algier. Do you feel good with Bam Knight? And do you feel good with Kiner if you're going to keep 4 running backs? Trey Benson's gone. He's pretty much not going to be available as it is. So with James Conner, do you cut him? Do you waive him? Because he's lost that fastball, so to speak.
Yeah, big time.
He can't hit the hole. He can move the pocket, but he's not that guy we saw 3 years ago, folks. He's just not. Now, unfortunately, the leg injuries have really befelled him. But I think that's going to be a real big decision-making process that if you can trade, you won't trade him because he's hurt, or do you just outright waive him?
All right, we're doing a Manuch's football report as we look ahead to tomorrow's last preseason game with the Packers. Let's get to the defensive side of the ball and the corners. They deep enough?
Well, that's going to be the key. Number one is, that's a good question. Are they deep enough? You got Denzel Burke, who's fighting with Starling Thomas V at the right corner. Also, Max Melton. So Max is healthy. He's back. So who starts at that? You play the second-year guy in Burke. Max Melton's, I think, in his 4th year. Starling Thomas V, he's also over there. So what's going to determine who starts on that side? Now, the left side, I think it'll be it's going to be Will Johnson. The thing with Will Johnson, though, you better have some depth because like his college career at Michigan and like last year, he's often injured. He's often dinged. So Sean Murphy-Bunning's over there on that side as well as Elijah Jones. The key question, who's going to be the slot corner? Is it Garrett Williams, now that he's back, or Isaiah Oliver, the former Brophy Bronco who played here? Who's going to be that starter there? And then is Kateri Clark going to back him up? So there's some competition there with whether it be Williams or Clark. Buda Baker, you brought him up, he's your guy. And strong safety and free safety to be a wing guard. But the Rabbit is hurt. He was vying for that starting position with the free safety now that Jalen Thompson's gone, but he's dinged. So at this point in time, I believe he hurt his ribs when he made that hit last week. So there's a question mark as well as that too. So that true competition is more in the secondary than it is up front.
All right, let's talk about the up front, the defensive line. How they look going into this season?
Well, they only played a little bit, so it's hard to say. And I think if Nolan III, if he's going to play, how much is he going to play coming off that injury? Josh Sweat, he's a question mark. He's been practicing, as we've been hearing. He's not going to play tomorrow night. He's doing individual drills. Hasn't really done any 11 on 11. It sounds as if he should be fine unless they trade him before the beginning of the season. So you got Jordan Birch, who's over there. Darius Robinson, he's got to take the next step up as far as going into his 3rd, 4th year. Roy Lopez, he's just solid. He's a solid run stopper. He's not going to push the pile. As I mentioned, Walter Nolan. But backing those guys up with Billings and Collier and some of those guys, it's going to be interesting to see how they can do that with all the injuries they had last year.
All right, lads, we're getting out early. So we got Bridget joining us here. We are going to talk about a pretty cool opportunity she has. So she's going to join us next. Instead of Peaks Picks, we're just going to talk to Bridget. And you're going to want to get on YouTube and watch us. So we'll get into that, and then we'll post some fun stuff. So stick around. It's an abbreviated Peaks Picks next on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
This September, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B take over DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the Friday football lock-in. Think you know football? Prove it. Pick 5, take the call-in challenge, and play for cash giveaways. Real competition, real money, more ways to win. No purchase necessary. No bet required. Join Roc and Manuch Fridays from 1 to 4 at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. Friday Football Lock-In. Only on ESPN Phoenix 620.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Football fans, it's time to draft your team and kick off another season. This year, take your fantasy football draft party to Twin Peaks. Cold drinks, made from scratch food, wall-to-wall TVs. Round up your league, grab a table, and get ready for the picks, the rivalries, and a full season of bragging rights. Start your fantasy season at Twin Peaks. Book your draft party at your local lodge today.
When a heart stops, the clock starts. You are the first responder until help arrives. In that moment, 4 minutes equals brain damage. 6 minutes equals too late in an emergency. The first responder is you. We need you. Will you be ready? Learn CPR. Visit heart.org/nation. That's heart.org/nation.
Think you can handle a few drinks and still drive safely? Think again. Buzzed driving is drunk driving, and drunk driving can land you in serious trouble. In Arizona, there's zero tolerance for impaired driving. Even one drink can cost you thousands in fines and legal fees. Plus, take away your driver's license. So plan ahead. Use a designated driver or rideshare. Get the facts at drivesober.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. It's Thursday, and welcome to Live Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, we're always in Twin Peaks on a Thursday, thanks to Michelob Ultra and, of course, Bud Light. And from time to time, we talk about the different contests that go on here at Twin Peaks, and there's a new one called the Peaks Elite. And what it is each store, and of course there's 5 stores here in the Valley, are trying to find 1 or 2 of the top favorite Twin Peaks girls who will then be picked as the number 1 of their store, and then they move on to an opportunity to do a modeling shoot for Twin Peaks National and Sports Illustrated. And we have Bridget here, who's been on our show multiple times, who's done our Peaks picks with us before. So tell us how this all got started.
So all of the girls from the store, they submit pictures and pictures to the management at your local Twin Peaks, and the managers choose their elite top performer to represent their store. So mine is Tempe, Arizona.
Okay.
Super excited to represent, and the top 12 get to go to Dallas, Texas, and be brand ambassadors for Twin Peaks. So we get to represent our home store and then also model for Twin Peaks, which is a really amazing opportunity, and also get to do a media campaign with Sports Illustrated. So it's a really exciting thing, and I've been with the company for 5 years, and I've loved working for Carolyn and working with Mark and all of the other management in this.
So how is this? How is it different? I can't remember the young girl from Deer Valley who won the Peaks Girl of all 100+ locations. Yeah. Is it similar to that, where you got to go through a whole ordeal and get votes?
Yeah, it's a little similar. It's similar in the way where we try and push the votes. Get like our fans voting online at peakselite.com or twinpeaksrestaurants.com. Also in store. But the difference between that is all the girls that won for their local store went to wherever it was located, like Miami, to do the pageant. But us, it's only 12 finalists that get to
of all the
all
peaks?
the stores. Yeah.
So if there's 125 peaks,
Only 12 girls. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then how does it work from, all right, you're Tempe,
Mm-hmm.
but then someone's doing the same thing at Deer Valley?
Yeah.
So are you going to be mad at us? You're the first one to do this. So next week we're at Deer Valley location.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be a young lady.
Competition.
Yeah.
A competition.
A little bit.
So how are you making yourself, get out there? What are you doing to kind of promote yourself? And I mean, with the customers, when the customers come in, are you saying, hey, you do me a favor, will you vote? I mean, how are you selling yourself?
So posters around the store, little QR codes. Yeah. So I put posters everywhere. Shout out to Staples for giving me like 12 posters.
She's a natural, Manuch,
right?
She's plugging sponsors,
exactly.
websites.
Yeah, and then I made a little like QR code at the tables and everything to like get people voting, and then just talking to regulars, getting to know people, just socializing with our guests. Everyone that comes into Twin Peaks is just like family to us. Love talking to people. So just like explaining the whole contest and trying to get my name out there. Also social media, TikTok and Instagram. I do a lot of TikToks at Twin Peaks and outside of my work, and just like be fun, have fun, good time.
So what will you do if and when, or say when you win, what will you do with this? I mean, where do you want to go down the road? I mean, how can this help your career, your modeling career, being at Peaks, getting selected as one of the Peaks ambassadors, and then Sports Illustrated?
Yeah, I would love to model for Twin Peaks. I mean, that was a dream of mine when I was a little kid. I remember going to Twin Peaks as a child and just like thinking, oh my God, the calendar, oh my gosh, like the girls here are so pretty. It would be so fun to like be able to like put my face out there for the company Twin Peaks. And also Sports Illustrated is like an amazing opportunity, obviously. And I just like, I'm kind of doing it also as like a confidence booster for myself, and also to show my coworkers that like you can do anything you put your mind to, and just to get out of your head and just like put yourself out there. You never know what opportunities arise, like working for a great company like this.
So how does it work where there's a competition within the store?
Yeah.
All right. And I know how, we're as guys, we're competitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
You basketball 1-on-1, you're competitive. Yeah. How does that work with your coworkers? Because I'm sure there's other girls that want the same opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati City Winery. Part of the show with Earthquake. He is Mr. Bishop, great comedian, terrific actor, and proud to call a friend when it comes to me, Freddie Coleman, him on the socials at Mr. Bishop Live. Bishop, we'll catch him soon, my man. Thank you so much and take care. God bless, my man.
Of course. Thanks for having me on, y'all.
He is one of the best comedians that a lot of people can get to know when it comes to Mr. Bishop. We're tied to LSU and Lane Kiffin. We're going to tell you things you should be talking about on the field of college football. That's next on Freddie and Harry.
Harry Douglas here to help you ignite your taste buds with Firework Freeze 5-hour energy shots. Juicy cherry, citrus lime, and blue raspberry. It's that iconic freezer pop flavor, but with none of that guilty sugar aftermath. The perfect summer kick. It's delicious, portable, zero sugar energy shot bursting with flavor. Bring on the summer with Firework Freeze 5-hour energy shots. Available online at 5hourenergy.com and on Amazon.
Progressive knows that boat days can come with unexpected problems.
It's been a tough Saturday on the lake. I ordered swim trunks in this orange cream color, but it's actually more orange auburn. Oh, and it's swimwear. I probably can't even return these.
If a real problem comes along, your boat's protected 24/7 with Progressive, so you can keep worrying about boater problems. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Hey, it's Michelle Tallman, and coming up Friday, we'll react to Week 3 of the NFL preseason, plus look ahead to the first weekend of college football action. It's on Sportsman Like 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU. Hey, it's Michelle Tallman, and coming up Friday, we'll react to Week 3 of the NFL preseason, plus look ahead to the first weekend of college football action. It's on Sportsman Like 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
The Little League World Series returns to ESPN.
In the rolling hills of Williamsport, Pennsylvania, welcome to baseball paradise for kids around the world, where dreams become realities.
Come celebrate the sights, sounds, and smiles of the summer, where baseball is played in its purest form. Experience
All right,
the
you good?
fun
Good to
that
go?
only
Good?
Little League can
Yeah.
bring.
This is an event unlike any other. Oh, that is crushed.
Little League World Series, presented by T-Mobile, continues on the networks of ESPN.
Okay.
And ESPN Radio. Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're
There we
the
are.
world's
All right,
most
Brock, we're
powerful
connected on
collection
our end,
agency
so you're
with
not
the
missing.
ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer.
even your,
We're
the other
Optima Tax
two,
Relief, America's most
your
trusted tax
access
resolution
one was
firm.
also
We have resolved over
requested
$3
calls.
billion
Must have been
in
stuff
tax
on your
debt
end.
for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust.
that interview?
Give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
I'm going to have her text
Optima
me
Tax Relief.
the picture that I'll text to you.
Restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Labor Day sales event is going on now at your 13 Valley Chevy dealers. Get exciting offers on a head-turning lineup, including Silverado, Traverse, and Trax. Plus, check out
I'll get a
Equinox
picture
with
of us
excellent
three that you
efficiency
can
and
use
bold design. It's the SUV that lets you take on the world in style. We have the inventory and we have the offers. Visit valleychevy.com
Sees the
or
road,
go to one of your
sees the roads
13
amongst two
Valley
thorns.
Chevy dealers
Yeah.
today. The Labor Day sales event going on now.
That's an old saying.
Who is
Smoke
Farm
show.
Bureau Financial Services?
Smoke
At our
show,
core,
Rose.
We're relationship builders. We're home and auto bundlers, life insurers, farm and ranch protectors, and retirement planners. We're neighbors, community members, and friends. We're the people you can count on now and for years to come. Find a Farm Bureau agent at fbfs.com/protect.
I think we
Farm
let
Bureau
her go.
Property and Casualty
51, you
Insurance
said?
Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company.
When
what
it's
happened?
game
It was
time in the
dead air?
valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball to hockey, fights, and more.
been
There's
going in and
no
out a
better
little bit.
place
Like
to
when we came
catch
back from
every
that
play
break,
and
Eric,
all the
you did
action.
her,
Bud Light
you
is a
kinda
proud
popped a
partner
little.
of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views. Join us for the inaugural Orangedale Lounge Golf Classic on Thursday, October 29th at McDowell Mountain Ranch. Enjoy a great day of golf, then celebrate at the hosted 19th hole at OD's. Gather your foursome and register today at orangedalelounge.com or sign up at OD's. The Orangedale Lounge Golf Classic, where the round ends, but the party is just getting started.
Engineers were in there.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620.
Yeah, it's trying to connect again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There's a neon sign glowing.
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Y'all know where to crawl. Take me down at
Hi, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B out here at Twin Peaks, Tempe. And we just interviewed Bridget, and then we had some technical issues at the tail end of it. So kind of bummed that happened. It was pretty good stuff that was on there in regards to her trying to be a Peaks ambassador and getting in Sports Illustrated. So, but we'll have something up online here in a little bit, and you'll be able to hear most of the interview that had her talking about the whole deal. Well, the NFL finally pulled the plug on the Pro Bowl. No more AFC versus NFC. No more flag football. No more trying to convince us this is something people actually want to watch. But Shannon Sharp says, don't blame the NFL. Blame the players. Of course, he's an 8-time Pro Bowler himself, says the NFL players in the last decade ought to be embarrassed because they took something that used to mean something and basically killed it by refusing to compete. And I think he's got a good point. I mean, the NFL tried everything to save this thing. They changed the rules. They moved it. They created this skills competition. They went to flag football, and still players didn't really want to play. So now the league is doing something different. The Pro Bowl honor stays, but the game is gone. So there will be 88 official Pro Bowlers, no alternates. The players will still be selected by us, the fans, the coaches, and the players. But instead of playing the game, they'll go to a party, a celebration in Los Angeles. So basically, they keep the honor, kill the game. And here's where it gets kind of interesting. Why would an NFL player go all out in an exhibition game? You're Patrick Mahomes, Justin Jefferson, whoever. You get tens of millions of dollars riding on your body. Your season's over, and we're asking you to go hit somebody in a meaningless game because that's how they've been doing it for 30 years. So I wouldn't want to blow out my knee in a Pro Bowl either. But here's the other side. Something has been lost in all-star games, I think.
Yes.
I mean, baseball's all-star game used to feel huge.
Yes.
NBA all-star game used to feel important. Pro Bowl in Hawaii was an event. Now we've watched the point where the best players don't even want to play. And it's a joke because when you look at these stats and things of players, he's a 2-time, 3-time, 4-time Pro Bowler. He could have been the 5th pick to be a Pro Bowler because everybody didn't want to show up. And there's just with so much money at risk and all that, I'm glad there's no more Pro Bowl. I could care less, to be honest with you, and you probably don't feel the same.
No, I'm glad that they've stopped what they're doing. What you just said there at the end, they make so much money that they don't want to get hurt is what really ruined the Pro Bowl. I mean, for years and years, guys were making these big bucks, and they were showing up because it was a pride factor. I mean, I could not wait. After the Super Bowl, the week later would be the Pro Bowl. Whether it be in L.A. or over in Hawaii, which they moved over to Hawaii, it meant something, Roc. And if you had the honor and privilege of being voted into the Pro Bowl against their best versus the NFC best, the AFC best, it was an honor to go over there. It was an honor to beat them. It was an honor to try to beat your competition in the other league. But I think what really ruined it was these high salaries, guys making millions and millions. They don't want to go over there because, you know what, if I do get hurt, will I be ready for the beginning of the next season? That's what ruined it was the greed, the money. And when you tried to, as you mentioned, do skills challenge or flag football, I was like, you know what? It's embarrassing. You've disgraced the reason why it's a Pro Bowl. Just get rid of it. So I'm glad they're getting rid of it. I'm glad they're acknowledging all the individuals. Come in for a dinner, get acknowledged. I hope they do something for the fans with that. I hope they have maybe like a fan fest where maybe it's the week of the Super Bowl. These guys all come in. They're not playing in the game. And then you can have a big fan fest with all the Pro Bowlers there. And I would say, look, if you're voted in, you 88 guys, you need to be there. I mean, just acknowledge that you've been selected. They kind of blow it off. Well, I'm a MVP or don't want to get hurt. I mean, just what ruined it was the money. And when a couple of guys didn't go because of this or that, then everybody started going, well, if he's not going, I don't want to go.
They're probably going to now turn this thing into like a somewhat of like an ESPYs. And
Could be.
they will do a big event in Hollywood, and it'll be made for TV on ESPN, NFL Network, and every guy will be highlighted, and we'll watch. We'll absolutely watch.
Sure.
And they'll still have players that aren't going to show.
But I'd like to see them take that. And you're right, Rock. They probably won't. There'll be a lot of guys who won't show. But I think I'd love to see them take that to do something. I'd still like to see them do some kind of a charitable event, maybe for the underprivileged there in the city of LA. Parlay it into maybe a clinic with the kids or autograph session, whatever that is, to still acknowledge that those guys are showing up and they can be beneficial for the community. In this case, it'll be in LA at SoFi. So maybe they do some at the stadium the week of the Super Bowl. But I can tell you, when this all started, a couple guys didn't show up because they were hurt, rightfully so. I get it. They're hurt. They didn't show up. And then a couple guys might have been playing in the Super Bowl. I get it. So they, instead of going the week after the Super Bowl, where guys could do it, they start doing it the week before. So this whole thing got convoluted. It got scrambled. It lost its initial purpose of guys getting voted in by the players, coaches, and fans to go play the best of the best, the AFC, NFC, and turn it into a competitive game and work at it from there. But it's turned into a debacle, so I'm glad they're candidate. Acknowledge the guys, but do something more for the fans, even though you're not going to be playing.
It's going to be an ESPYs. That's all the fans are going to get.
Well, I know, but I mean, what I'm saying is
what do we care? What do fans have to get out of it?
Well, if it's
you're saying we need to do something for the fans.
Well, if it's,
I mean, it's more for losing, Hawaii, where that the economical impact was probably pretty big.
That's
and
a
they
shame
lost that.
It's a shame to it. Down in
I don't
Florida,
think they need to do anything for us.
Well, I just think it'd be a nice touch the week of the Super Bowl that they acknowledge these guys.
They will. They'll have a dinner.
Okay.
They'll have an ESPYs.
But how about
is that enough for us?
No. How about they do something for the community while they're there?
Like what?
They've
like
done,
all these Pro Bowlers are going to go freaking feed the homeless?
No, they're
not going to do that. They're not going to show.
But they did when they were in Hawaii, Rock, or Florida. They did stuff for the community. They invited a lot of like a fan fest. They have a lot of fan fests. They can have autograph sessions.
You never a Pro Bowler.
No, I know, but I'm just reading what they've been doing the last few years. If I'd been a Pro Bowler, I'd have had my helmet, my shoulder pads, my mouth guard.
Your money changes everything, Manuch. And
That's the problem.
There's some of these players who are like, hey, my season's done. I had a disappointing year. Didn't make the Super Bowl. We got kicked out of the playoffs at the first round. Last thing I want to do is I live in Miami and I want to fly to LA to be at this event.
Okay. Then you know what? Let's just have all pro teams and eliminate Pro Bowl votes, period. Let's just say, okay, you guys, the all pros.
Well, they already do like the AP Player of the Year. They do all that other stuff.
Well,
the same kind of thing.
There's the Pro Bowl players, and then there's the all pro teams. The all pro teams.
It's the same thing
to
most fans.
To most fans it is. But I don't know. I just
where it gets a little complicated is if it's in their contract. If there's incentives in their contracts, and those incentives won't go away because they're not going to have to play. But if they get voted, I just think it's such BS because if you had that in your, let's just say Kyler Murray when he made the Pro Bowl, right? I believe he was an alternate in the 1 year, and then it shows that he's a two-time Pro Bowl or whatever.
Part of your incentives.
Yeah, so he makes a raise because 4 other guys didn't want to go because they got vacation set with their family.
Well, what's interesting about that, the guys that made the Pro Bowl and they got paid and they didn't show up for whatever reason, because they always had to have a reason. While you're injured or you always had to have a reason why you weren't going to go there. The commissioner built that into it. You're hurt or you got this, you got that. There always had to be a reason why you didn't go. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a shame that it's been so watered down, that it's lost its initial meaning, and it's lost for a lot of fans to see these guys play one more time of the year. I mean, even after the Super Bowl, I remember.
Manuch, I don't know. Maybe I'm being naive here, but I don't think the fan base is going to lose any sleep
No,
over this.
but, fans love watching more football. After the Super Bowl, I'll never forget this. After the Green Bay Packers beat the Kansas City Chiefs, the following week, the Pro Bowl was in the Coliseum. And Marv Fleming, who was the tight end for the Packers, he was part of the Pro Bowl. You had three or four defensive guys for the Packers playing the Pro Bowl. And then you had the AFL guys. You had Lenny Dawson, who played in the Super Bowl the week before. I couldn't wait to watch the Pro Bowl for all of the Pro Bowl guys to play against each other one more time. Full pads, a game that meant something. Heck, I remember in my scrapbook at home, I even got the article of the Pro Bowl that I pasted in my scrapbook. That's how much it meant in those days.
All right, the NFL, they're drawing the line on the prediction markets. In college conferences, they're battling over pros returning to school. We're going to get into some of that. Blake Griffin, remember him? He's getting his own late-night sports show. We got some the Money Line. It's coming up next, sports business side of sports, as that will be next year from Twin Peaks in Tempe. It's Roc and Manuch.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views. Ball players, legends. One incredible weekend of golf. It's the MLB Retired Players Association Celebrity Classic, September 19th through the 21st at Ocotillo Golf Club in Chandler. Play around paired with an actual MLB player, plus swag, breakfast, and lunch, while raising money for retired players, kids with autism through music movement, and ASU baseball scholarships. Foursomes are going fast. Register today at music-movement.org. That's music-movement.org.
Hey, it's Jimmy B. Football season is here, and there's never been a better time to grow your business. Partner right now with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, with live endorsement, show sponsorships, featured segments, remote broadcast, and so much more. YouTube, social media, and commercials, all built around your goals and your budget. Visit rocandmanuch.com and click advertise. Let's grow your business together.
This September, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are live Fridays at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the Friday Football Lock-In. Pick 5, take the call-in challenge, and win cash. Fridays 1 to 4, only on ESPN Phoenix 620.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are back at Biggs American Bar and Grill for football on Monday nights. And the halftime roll for dough is now up to $25,000. Ice cold Michelob Ultra drafts, wall-to-wall TVs. Lock it in at BiggsPeoria.com. Biggs, where Peoria goes for football.
The Labor Day sales event is going on now at your 13 Valley Chevy dealers. Get exciting offers on a head-turning lineup, including Silverado, Traverse, and Trax. Plus, check out Equinox with excellent efficiency and bold design. It's the SUV that lets you take on the world in style. We have the inventory and we have the offers. Visit valleychevy.com or go to one of your 13 Valley Chevy dealers today. The Labor Day sales event going on now.
When driving in Arizona, move over or slow down for any flashing lights. Move over for tow truck drivers, highway crews, and emergency responders. Move over for any vehicle with its hazards flashing. Because at 65 miles per hour, a vehicle travels over 95 feet in 1 second. 1 second that could change everything. When you move over for anyone, you're not just doing it for them, you're doing it for their families. Their lives are flashing before your eyes. Move over, Arizona. Every vehicle, every time. It's the law. Please visit moveoveraz.org. This message is brought to you by ADOT and this station.
Money makes the sports world go round, and nobody follows the dollars like we do. This is the Money Line, where we'll take you off the field and into the boardroom, the courtroom, and the bank. The deals, the contracts, the franchise sales, the billion-dollar bets, the business that runs the games you love. Grab a pen because this is your trip around the business of sports. Let's get into the Money Line.
All right, Kevin Durant just pulled off the greatest play of his career. You see this prediction?
No, I did not.
It didn't happen on the basketball court. A few years ago, him and his business partner put $250,000 in a little AI company called Hugging Face. $100,000 in the seed round, then another $150 in a Series A. Today, Nativa, I think is how you say it. Nativa announced it's buying that company for $12.9 billion.
Billion?
His cut is an estimated $60 million. Now put that in perspective. On Durant's 2-year, $90 million in Houston, that's a $250,000 investment. That's about 2 days of his salary. So he turns in 2 days of work into $60 million. That's roughly a 240 to 1 return. And here's the thing. This isn't luck. It's a pattern for him. And look at the portfolio. Postmates, Coinbase, Robinhood, DraftKings. I mean, the man has made over $1 billion in just his NBA salary. Now his investments might be worth even more than his playing career. That is just nuts. I mean, he might be the first player who becomes a billionaire off his side hustles.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, he's one of the best shooters of his generation, but seems like he's better with the term sheets. I mean, seriously, I mean, that is amazing. I mean, you always look at what's your best, and like even what's your best and worst investments ever made. I mean, I opened a pizza franchise and lost mine.
Remember that?
Nick and Willie's Take a Bake. We're like, oh, my buddies are, and I've told the story before. I had 2 investment opportunities. One was Nick and Willie's Take a Bake.
Yes.
The other one was the first Chipotle, which I believe was at Thomas and 44th Street.
You had an opportunity to get in with that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But the reason why I didn't, and my business partners at the time, we were like, oh, it's like a Baja Fresh.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Baja Fresh was like kind of like Chipotle.
Sure was. Yeah.
Chipotle's freaking awesome. Yeah. But, I mean, that was probably my worst investment and lost my butt on it. But I would do it again.
Yeah. I mean, if that opportunity's there, I remember the thing I turned down, I'll never forget this place called Subway sandwiches.
By the way, the guy that I went in with the Nick and Willie's had a bunch of Subway.
Oh, did
so
you?
You would have thought he had the foresight to say, why don't we do Chipotle?
Yeah, and back in those days, we weren't making a lot of money in football, and I know they also had a chance to invest in this resort up in Colorado called Tiburon that had a great golf course right there by, I think by Breckenridge. And we kind of passed on that, too. At least I did, because I'm like, well, how much do you need? Well, we need initially $10,000. I went, I need that for the off season. And then this whole Subway thing. And I'm like, okay, so if you guys want, I know there's certain stores you'll get a hoagie here or a hoagie there. But you guys want to make this national to make Subway sandwiches? And I'm like, I can just go down the street and do that. So the guy explained it to us. I think Freddie Smirlis, myself, and Jim Haslett were in this meeting. There's a couple other Buffalo Bills, too. Same with the Tiburon thing. Now, they might have invested in it. But heck, bro, we needed the money to survive in the off season or go back to school. So those are my 2 no investments.
So the NFL just renewed and expanded its sports betting business with DraftKings. By the way, we'll be there on Fridays this year. Then we'll open the season on the 9th on that Wednesday as well. DraftKings, CBC, Scottsdale, FanDuel, and Fanatics. But the prediction markets that we're seeing in baseball and Kashi and in the poly market still sitting on the fence here as the NFL has talked to those 2 companies. But right now, there will not be a prediction market deal before the season and possibly none for the season, which I find is not, I can't, it's going to happen. It has to. I mean, the individual NFL teams have shown some interest. So, if they want it, Roger Goodell's going to probably say, all right, let's do it. But right now, the league won't let them do their own deals, which I think is kind of crazy. I mean, Roger Goodell has that much pull to tell Jerry Jones, hey, I don't want you doing something with Polymarket.
Yeah, he's the commissioner. It can quash a lot of those. Doesn't Kalshi have some kind of there's a suit against them? Somebody's got a lawsuit against them.
Yeah, a lot of that.
I mean, but I think that it's close. They'll do it this year. I think anytime here in the near future, the commissioner's going to try to grab as much of that gambling or betting market as much as he can. But the control thing, I'm like you. How do you tell some of these teams who to have and who not to have? I mean, they have the sports books in their stadiums. He's approved all that. So from there on moving forward, I'd be interested to see how he can control that.
I just think the NFL is being smart here by waiting. I just think they're just want to see how this is all going to work with the other sports like baseball. You see it everywhere. Sure, billboards. Everywhere. So they also, that being the NFL, has clarified their side. If you're released by an NFL team, you're a free agent. You can't sign with an NFL club or go to the CFL or attempt to return to college if you're allowed. But if you go back to college, you cannot then come back to the NFL during the 2026 season. And you would instead be an NFL free agent for next year. And you don't go back in the draft either, which is interesting, which is smart. They're looking at that. But, think about the decision for like a 22-year-old, right? It's a fringe player, a fringe NFL player, and you get cut in August. Maybe you got a practice squad shot, where there's some really good money there, but there's no guarantee. Or you got a court that says you can return to LSU, Texas Tech, Arizona, wherever you want, potentially earning some NAL money, some revenue money from the shared money, play again, improve your NFL value. I don't know how this is going to work out. I think the government or these federal judges are going to get involved in this, and the players are going to win.
Well, here's the thing. You sit there and go, who has the jurisdiction of the ruling? So if the judge says you're allowed to, but the commissioner for those 4 conferences say, no, you can't. We're not going to allow you to come back. And if you're a coach, in the case of Lane Kiffin, if he brings those 2 individuals, Wright and Xavier, back from on the team of LSU, the commissioner, SEC, says, we're going to suspend you, Lane Kiffin. So, okay, if you want to play that game, if a federal judge says he's going to trump us, we're just going to say, all right, you bring him back. You're suspended for 5 games of the entire season. So, hey, Lane, what do you want to do? Or any other SEC coach. Now, a lot of the other conferences have not adopted the suspension of the coaches if they do bring back players that were formerly on an NFL contract. So this thing it's still fluid. And the other thing on top of it is a lot of guys weren't allowed to enter the portal until January 1st. What about that fiasco? That you weren't allowed to join the portal until January 1st, but Daquan Wright was allowed to enter the portal this last week in order to get picked up by LSU. And the other thing on top of that, they want them to repay whatever bonus money you were given if you go do that. So if I'm an NFL player and I got cut and I see what's going on, I don't know if I would want to hurry up back to college knowing I probably got a snowball's chance in hell that I'm going to be playing on that team.
PGA Tour champion player. I don't know if I got his last name right. Is it Matt Gugel or Google?
Yeah.
You know how to say his name, Matt?
I know you're talking about
Gogel or Goggle. Is it Goggle?
He's a kid that won the.
He's a PGA Tour champion.
Yeah,
older guy, right?
Right.
So he's been suspended for 6 months for placing bets on PGA Tour competition. Now the tour says he didn't wager on any of his tournaments when he was competing, but his suspension it started last week and it's going to go till February of next year. And he said he made these like small recreational bets in the last couple of years. He didn't know he was violating anything, and it's just weird. It's kind of weird when this is where like sports and gambling, they continue to collide. The PGA Tour and every league takes sportsbook money. They run betting content, as we were just talking about. There's odds everywhere, but the athlete standard has to be completely different, and I don't get it. I mean, maybe he knows stuff like, all right, who's injured?
Sure,
saw the guy at the range. He's got a little hook going. I mean, he's changing his equipment. He said, I mean, what could it be?
Well, that's what the commissioner's getting at, the PGA. That hey, look, you've got some inside information,
but he didn't bet on his tournament.
That's all right. There's other tournament. If he say he's out for 2 weeks, and let's say they got the PGA and the Sawgrass at TPC, and he's got some inside information from some of his buddies. Hey, to your point, hey, I was watching Justin Kuchar. He really had a hard time driving the ball. He might go, you know what? I'm going to bet against Justin Kuchar.
Justin Kuchar?
Really?
Matt Kuchar?
Matt Kuchar. Yeah, Matt Kuchar.
Yeah, I'm not making funny because I can't even say this guy's name. And Lazar, producer's not even listening.
But
no, you got it right. I just didn't want to interrupt. Gogol is correct.
Gogol. I didn't even say Gogol.
But any kind of betting in your sport during the season is going to be frowned upon by anybody. Now, this guy
So
was,
I would tell you this. So, man, the guy that won the Phoenix Open 2 years ago, I can't remember his name. Lads, look it up for me. We were at DraftKings, and there was a former caddy that was there. Remember?
Yes.
And he came up to me, and this is Monday of Phoenix
Yes.
Open, and he said, or Waste Management Open, and he said, dude, you need to put your money on this guy.
So Thomas Dietrich?
Yes. He's playing really, really well. Yeah, and I did. Not thinking anything of it, but he's a former caddy.
Yeah.
And but he's not on the tour anymore.
Right.
But he knows enough.
Sure.
And I put some not serious money, but I put in more money than I normally would, and I hit to the point where I actually cashed out before Sunday because he was doing so well, and I was like, I better get my money because he can fall apart on Sunday.
Well, that's a former keyword there, former caddy. It's got some information.
But you wonder these caddies that are on tour.
Well,
I mean, you can get around it. If I was a caddy on tour, hey Manuch, here, take $1,000 cash of mine, and I want you to go bet it on beach.
How would they know?
Exactly.
Yeah. How would they know?
I don't know why these guys can't be smarter. You know,
Well,
I mean, be smarter.
Well, you got to remember, Rock, these commissioners of all these leagues, they've got guys that are tracking everybody and anybody for gambling, for any kind of outside influences within the game. And you have to bet on your tournament or yourself, or if you're betting down the road, you're not playing that tournament, you bet, they're going to monitor that. Because it's all about the inside information and ruining the integrity. And on top of that, winning that money in an illegal way. And that's what these commissioners are coming down so hard on the NFL, NBA, baseball, you name it. They're going to come down because they've got people out there that are looking at these bets.
All right, weekend. Minshew question and who survives Sunday. Cards Insider Howard Balzer, USA Today, CardsWire. He will join us next. But here's Lads with another Twin Peak sports update here on Roc Manuch, Jimmy B, ESPN Radio 620.
It's now time for Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs took 2 or 3 from the Cubs in what was a much-needed series win as they look to continue gaining ground in a tight NL wildcard race. The Snakes now head to San Francisco for the start of a 4-game weekend set against the division rival Giants. Jose Cabrera, who was just recalled from AAA, gets the start for the D-backs tonight as first pitch from Oracle Park is set for 6:45, with pregame coverage getting underway at 6 on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. Football season starts at Twin Peaks. Get your league together and host your fantasy football draft party at your local lodge. And commissioners will get a $50 Twin Peaks gift card. Enjoy 29-degree Bud Light and Michelob Ultra drafts, made from scratch food, wall-to-wall TVs, and everything that you need for draft day.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Arizona. Get ready for live music and golf under the lights. Saturday, September 12th, Yellow Jacket Overtime takes over grass clippings in Tempe. See Arizona native and national recording artist Sydney Bird live at 6:30. GA and VIP tickets, private seating, and night golf foursomes are available. Plus, every ticket supports Arizona classrooms through Wishes for Teachers. Yellow Jacket Overtime, September 12th. Tickets at yjovertime.com.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
Make Azul Bar and Grill your new favorite hangout. Sing along with live karaoke, play bingo, Catch the best local bands or challenge your friends in the game room. Add great food, a fun atmosphere, and a place where everyone feels welcome. And you've got good times waiting at Azul, located at 3134 West Carefree Highway in Tramonto Plaza. See daily events and specials at azulgrill.com.
Rock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at RightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at RightToyota.com.
Football season doesn't take days off, and neither does Twin Peaks. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B kick it off live every Thursday. 29-degree Michelob Ultra and Bud Light. Scratch-made eats. Wall-to-wall screens. Twin Peaks. Every day is game day.
Live streaming audio, podcasts, video highlights, and D-backs play-by-play.
Carroll's got to move on his way back to the track, to the fence, and he makes the catch right against the fence.
Download the Arizona Sports app, presented by Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years. A longtime NFL writer, broadcaster, and co-host of the Pro Football Hall of Fame show on SiriusXM. A Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer. Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, Howard joins us now. I'll talk everything Cardinals. Of course, Packers tomorrow, cut day this weekend, and a player that may be going on the IR. All right, Howard. What are you stirring right now? You just text us that there's one particular player that may be on the IR. Well, what's going on here?
Well, logic, and that says that at this point, he hasn't practiced. He has done nothing since the Hall of Fame game, which was on August 6th. So that's 3 weeks ago, right? Once the season starts, you start preparing for season opener, you're not going to be doing it pretty much anything in practice anyway, unless maybe you ran a little bit of scouting. So I'm saying, get him healthy, make sure he's totally healthy. And I'm not, put him on IR. And you can bring him back after 4 weeks if you want to, put him on the active roster, and then return him to practice at that point. He can still throw on the side during all that. He just can't participate in practice. So by doing that, it gives him a roster spot for someone else for the first 4 games of the season, whether it's for depth or whatever position, special teams, whatever it might be. So in my mind, unless all of a sudden he's going to be fine, which we don't have any indication of yet, then that seems the most logical approach at this stage with, like you said, the roster reduction to 53 coming up in 3 days.
Could they still then, Howard, keep Keaton Slovis as the third guy if Beck goes IR for those four weeks, and when they decide to make him active again, do you got to waive a Slovis in order to waive him through and then put him on the practice squad? What's kind of the mechanics for that? Something like that happen?
Yeah, well, anytime you put somebody on the practice squad, which is another thing I put on Twitter that people probably thought I was crazy with James Conner. We can get to that in a moment. But if you're in that stage of the first few years of your career where you have to go through waivers, to put a guy on the practice squad, he does have to go through waivers. I don't know that Keaton Slovis would be claimed by anyone. And for the Cardinals to keep him on the roster, I don't even know why you would do that. Because, again, it picks up a spot for someone else because, Jacoby Brissett is going to get virtually all of the snaps in practice, and Gardner Minshew can run the scout team as you prepare for the upcoming opponent. So that would be the way I would look at it.
So let's talk about James Conner. The big question mark. There's a situation. Do you put him on the IR for now? Do you waive him? Give us your thoughts reference to James Conner right now, because he's lost his fastball. We all know that. What value does he give this team, healthy or not healthy?
Well,
we don't know. There's no evidence that he's lost staff. I mean, certainly coming back from the injuries, which Mike LaFleur, what he called it gruesome the other day. And basically, he's been doing some work in drills, but not in 11 on 11. And Mike LaFleur has basically come out and said that it's James Conner saying, I'm not ready to play football. And so from that standpoint, you could put him on IR. But then, of course, he can't practice for 4 weeks or do anything. Can't go through drills or any of that. That's why I think that he doesn't, as a vested veterans don't go through waivers at this point in the season. Their contract is terminated immediately. So they can just go to James Conner. And by the way, he has a 2.35 base salary this year, and 2.1 of it is guaranteed. So he's going to get paid that money no matter what. So I say, put him on the practice. We'll go to him and say, hey, we're going to terminate your contract. We'll put you on the practice squad so you can still practice, right? You still go through drills, and if all of a sudden you feel like you can do more practice, then you can do some of that. Maybe do some scout team or do whatever. And then when he feels ready to play, first you can elevate him from the practice squad to play in a game, or just put him on the active roster at that point. And that, again, saves another roster spot. Again, overall, we don't totally know the value he has as a team. Obviously, the Cardinals felt when they restructured his contract that he still would have some value on the field and in the locker room as, one of the leaders of this team. So I just thought of that. I said, you know what? Why not put James Conner on the practice squad? And there's no real downside to it for him or the team. And then when he feels he is ready to go, then, you make a move at that point. And the other thing at this stage, we don't know if Jeremiah Love is going to be ready for week 1. So what does that do to the depth in your running back room? Well, all of a sudden you've got Tyler Algier and then Bam Knight and maybe Corey Tyner and Evan Hull and those guys. So if Jeremiah Love isn't available, then, they've got another decision on their hands of how they're going to deal with that in the beginning of the season. Although if he doesn't play week 1, I don't think it would linger beyond that. But then again, none of us really know the seriousness of this high ankle sprain.
What went wrong with Trey Benson, and how big of a draft miss is this on this regime?
Well, I see a lot of people taking shots all the time at GMs, whether it's Monty Ossenfort or in other cities and all that. I don't blame a GM when a guy gets hurt. Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what happened with Trey Benson. People forget he was also hurt at the end of his rookie year. And then of course, last year, we know what happened. He got injured early, tried to come back, aggravated it, then went on, injured reserve, and the season. Played 4 games that he played. This year, they expected him, to come back and hopefully be able to do some good things. And then he had a flare-up of the knee again, whatever it was, a couple weeks into training camp, and hasn't been able to do much of anything since then. So, the guy's got talent. The guy's got ability. He showed it at times when he had the chance, but didn't have that much opportunity because the injuries hit. And so, now he's on injured reserve. I saw a lot of people saying the other day he's departing. Well, he didn't. He was waived injured, which means after no one claims you, you go on injured reserve. Now there could be an injury settlement coming down in the days ahead, but right now he's getting paid, and the Cardinals are responsible for his rehab from that injury. But that, maybe this is probably a lot more serious than people thought. He did have surgery, last season, and so that's one where hey, let's remember everybody was talking about Trey Benson, even going into his rookie year, as being a guy who's going to share time with James Conner and could be the heir apparent. Well, guess what? When you can't get on the field, you can't be the heir apparent to anybody.
And then Howard, then there's Josh Sweat. We understand he is practicing, doing individual drills. I don't know. My gut feeling, I'm just putting it out there, is I just got a feeling that he's not going to be with this team come game 1. I've got a feeling there's going to be some kind of trade. I might be all wrong, all wet on this, but this is one of the most odd scenarios I've ever heard. Love to see him on this team, but I just got a feeling that he's not going to be with this team at the start of the season.
I think he will be at the start. That's just my thought, but I think that there's no doubt that throughout this offseason, the Cardinals have fielded calls on Josh Sweat, but they never got offered what they thought was worthwhile. And then when Mike LaFleur did mention something that I picked up on the other day, he said, "Hey, the plan is there. This is what the plan has been." So I think the plan all along was to go very conservative with him because of the knee. Everyone forgets he was on the injury report at the end of last season because of a knee injury. He was questionable for the last 2 games. I wrote about this earlier in the week on CardsWire, and he had some other issues. His snap count after the first 8 or 9 games of the season, he was never on the injury report. And all of a sudden, he started showing up and hardly practicing down the second half of the season. His snap count went down, and his production went down, and all those things. And so I think that they knew that he had a big, devastating injury in high school. And everyone was saying that at the practice the other day, he's wearing a brace on his leg. Well, he's worn that brace throughout his entire career to protect his knee. And so I think that obviously the Cardinals didn't get the offer any offer that they thought was worthwhile. So that's why I think he'll be there at the beginning of the season. He's their only real pass rusher. And if you want any hope of being competitive defensively and winning, being in some games in this first half at least of the season, it's with Josh Sweat. Now, if all of a sudden they're 2-8 or something like that, they get towards the trade deadline, and someone comes to you with a nice offer because they need pass rush and it's a playoff type of team, then something could happen then. But let's remember this too, guys. A lot of people didn't notice this. When he signed his 4-year contract, there was only guaranteed money in the first 2 years. There's no guaranteed money beyond this year. And his salary jumps to $17 million and a cap hit of 23 the next 2 seasons. And so obviously other teams are looking at that. So if you trade him, you're taking on that contract, even though it's not guaranteed. And so from the Cardinals standpoint, I think they want to be sure they know the talent he has. But that's why I think they wanted to be conservative to hope to get. He did play 17 last year, but like I said, the second half of the season wasn't that productive. So they're hoping to get him as productive as possible, and that will determine their decision whether to bring him back next season. Right now he's got the second highest salary cap hit on the entire team, and next year it goes from 16 plus, this year 16 million plus, to over 23. And so you got to decide, are we bringing it back next year when, like I said, there's no guaranteed money on the deal, even though there's some money that you have to go against the cap for his bonuses. So I think that's where it stands with him. We'll see. I'm not saying it's out of the question that he would be traded, but I just think if a trade happens, it would be later in the season once you see how this team is playing on the field.
How there's going to be some competition still going on. I want to get your thoughts on why and who it matters for in this preseason game tomorrow. Is it more the defensive backfield? Could it be the extra receiver? On and on. Who do you feel that the game will matter for tomorrow? What area? Any players in particular?
I'm sorry, my sound went off for a second. What preceded that last point? That last part of the second?
Yeah, I want to know who does this game matter for the most? Tomorrow's game, as far as positions or depth for this Cardinal team, is it the secondary? Is it the extra receiver? I think running backs are okay. Is it lineman? Anybody in particular that stands out for you that this game's going to actually mean something?
Yeah, it's probably mostly depth at perhaps at corner. There's a guy like Star Thomas to make the game, make the roster. Although I don't know how much he could really do in this game. That's going to change your opinion, of him. Depth on the offensive line could be, but a lot of what will happen on Sunday with the roster reduction, depends on, how many players you're keeping at each position. Wide receiver, you have a tough decision there a little bit. Reggie Virgil, the 5th round pick, has done some really good things. And then there's Simi Fehoko, who maybe doesn't have as much pure talent as Virgil, but he's excellent on special teams. And so that's where some of the decisions are. But I really don't think there's that many decisions that this team is facing on the depth spot, who makes the roster. Maybe some of the biggest decisions will be what 16 or 17 guys end up on the practice squad.
All right, this will be a tough one. You may have to just like sleep on this one, and then next week you may have to have your answer. All right, but I'm gonna try. I like to kind of catch you on, make sure you're on your toes here.
Catch them off guard.
Yeah, off guard. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you. You've covered this franchise longer than anybody. Where does this current roster rank in the past decade? Is it better than people think? Is it about right? Where would you put it? I know we still got cuts, but where do you think it is as of today?
I truly believe it's better than people think. And
good.
So when you look at that offense and the skilled players that are there, it's funny. I saw something that ESPN had the Cardinals as some these clickbait articles had them as the 29th. In terms of most watchable teams, they were 29th, and yet ESPN ranked the Cardinals skilled players as 6th best in the NFL. Well, if you've got the 6th best skilled players, then to me that's a watchable team. And again, it doesn't mean they're going to win games because they're playing a lot of tough teams, especially this first 10, 11 games of the season. But as long as their top line guys, again, stay healthy, then I think they could be better than what people think. And while everybody's trashing the defense, right? I mean, Mac Wilson's healthy right now. Buda Baker's healthy. Hopefully there'll be Sweat in there. Walter Nolan has to stay healthy. The corners are young and talented. And so, like I said, I think they can be ranking it in the last decade. That's a tough one, to really rate and judge. But I think that they definitely have the ability to be better than people think. I mean, when you look at that 2021 team that won its first 7 games and then started getting hit by a bunch of injuries, that was a pretty talented roster. And I don't know that this one is as talented, although when you look at running back compared to that team, when you look at wide receivers, it's comparable, even though you did have DeAndre Hopkins on that team. Obviously, McBride at tight end. The quarterback's a big question, and that's what everybody questions. But I think Jacoby Brissett, with that offense around him and an offensive line that can stay healthy and play well together, can create some good balance in this offense, and then help create a team that's better than people think. And then the other thing, guys, is if they could be better offensively and have better time of possession and keep the ball, then that takes the pressure a little bit off the defense, and they're not on the field as much. So yeah, I think there's some good, decent talent on this roster, and it's all about, like I said, keeping them healthy, and we'll see if they're able to do that.
Howard, thanks, buddy, as always, man. Have yourself a good week, and we'll look forward to talking about some of these roster cuts next week.
Sounds good, guys. Take care.
It's Howard Balzer, CardsWire. Appreciate him taking some time as he's covered his team since they were at St. Louis. And it's a hard question, I thought, because, you really got to kind of look back to 10 years. And, all right, how does this team look? But
bottom line is, if any roster can stay healthy, you got a chance. I think a lot of fans, like Jonathan Gannon's first year, they're more competitive, they're more dialed in, didn't have the injuries, and they had a chance in maybe 90% of the games, even though they lost, but they were more competitive week in and week out. You didn't see the clunkers like you did the year before Jonathan Gannon got here. You saw maybe 3 or 4 clunkers per se. His first year, they played good football, but it's always, you can have a good-looking roster. It's all about the injuries, Rock. And there in that line, we talked about depth. It's about your depth being able to step up and be able to at least hold serve until that individual went out, gets back in the line.
All right, what's on tap's coming up, but we will also kind of dive into a little replay. And we are going to get into, what do we got coming up, Manuch?
We got our Learn and Roll. What call that song?
What is it? My internet went out, so I don't even know what the soundbite is.
I think we're going to have Ken Rosenthal talking about Marte apologizing.
Really? Yeah. Good. All right, we'll have that next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks in Tempe.
This September, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B take over DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the Friday football lock-in. Think you know football? Prove it. Pick 5, take the call-in challenge, and play for cash giveaways. Real competition, real money, more ways to win. No purchase necessary. No bet required. Join Roc and Manuch Fridays from 1 to 4 at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. Friday Football Lock-In. Only on ESPN Phoenix 620.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner and Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Looking for a new ride? Make the right choice. Ride Honda in Scottsdale. Whether you're shopping for a fuel-efficient Civic, a family-friendly CRV, the rugged Passport, or the all-new Accord, Ride Honda has the selection, value, and customer service Arizona drivers trust. Plus, their experienced service team is here long after the sale. Visit the showroom on Scottsdale Road just south of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard or shop anytime at RightHonda.com. That's RightHonda.com, where Arizona drives. Right Honda.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
If gambling is no longer entertaining, you have options to help you take back the game. In Arizona, self-exclusion is a voluntary and confidential program that allows you to exclude yourself from gambling at Arizona casinos, betting at Arizona sportsbooks, or both. Getting started is simple, and support is always available. Head to gaming.az.gov/exclude to learn more about self-exclusion in Arizona. For 24/7 problem gambling support, text Next Step to 53342, sponsored by the Arizona Department of Gaming.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
It was a multi-hour meeting, and a lot was said, from what I understand. He did apologize to both Lovello and Hazen for not showing up, and at that point, they made the decision to take him off the restricted list, which is a procedural thing where a player does not get paid, and put him on the injured list when you do get paid. He did have also this left knee issue that he's been dealing with. So it's the left knee, it's the possible soon loss of a close family member. Things were going on here, and things that maybe he didn't deal with the way that all of us would like to see a player deal with, and the casino appearance certainly didn't add to a positive perception of Marte.
Ken Rosendahl. Some information on Vitel Marte. Interesting. This is the first we've heard that someone passed.
Yeah, that's the personal problem. There could have been somebody that passed close to him. We didn't really, nobody reported that he apologized in that meeting. They just said that long discussion. And maybe that's why Troy Lovello said he was was it Saturday when they found out that he'd gone to the casino, and he found out about it Friday night. On Saturday, he said, I'm frustrated, brokenhearted, and I'm disappointed. Because what it sounded like, nobody said that. They apologized to Hazen and to the ownership group, Troy Lovello. That's why they were very upset, is that if you apologize to us, why the heck are you out the next night at a casino?
So do you think the D-backs will throw him out to the press in a press conference on Monday? Like a reinstatement press conference where, I mean, that's appointment viewing, folks. I mean,
no
let's
kidding.
go. You know, if he's back on Monday, Phillies are in town, night game, 3:00 press conference. Q&A.
Why not? Why should they?
I think he has to do
I
that.
agree. I agree with you. That's a good
I
point.
don't want to throw him out to the wolves, but if I think he needs to address this if he's going to save face. Because here's the deal. I think fans will give him another chance, but he can't do it through people. He has to do it in front of the camera.
To your point, if he's doing it through people, I think it's almost cowardice, and there's something still there to hide.
Yeah.
So be a man, face the music, and say whatever you want to say. I apologize. I had this, and this, whatever. Do a mea culpa. Hey, my bad. It's not going to happen again. I had some things going on personally. I didn't handle it well. I should have got back to whatever you want to. I think if he takes a high road and comes clean, Rock, in front of the press.
All right, real quick. Here's what's on tap. Brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Preseason NFL Network, Steelers and Bills coming up here at 4 o'clock. We got 2 5 o'clock games with Patriots at Browns on Prime, 49ers at Raiders on NFL Plus, and then late night, 7 o'clock, Rams and Chargers on the NFL Network. So you got back-to-back games tonight. But you got some college football going on right now.
You do.
Good stuff. Hey, tomorrow, Rick Neuheisel will join us. Jake Plummer will join us. Tyler Drake from Arizona Sports, Scott Spreitzer, and Bill Lewis. Man, good job,
Thank
dude.
you, sir. Every once in a while, the blinds squirrel.
No, this is probably your best week.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I mean, seriously, would you agree? I mean, best week you guess that Manuch has ever had.
Can we talk
You're
about
killing
a
it, Manuch. You're killing it.
Yeah, you kiss his ass. But I'm
You're the one that
Gardner
asked.
Webb, Austin P. I'm going to watch that game. 14 and a half, Austin P. All right. See you tomorrow.
What keeps you up at night? Do you wonder if what you've saved will be enough? If your money will go as far as you plan? Or whether your retirement will look the way you imagine? What worries you? Everyone's concern is different, but ignoring it won't make it disappear. This is Ron Paul. You may not be able to predict what comes next, but you can take steps now to diversify your savings with precious metals before uncertainty becomes urgency. My friends at Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit explaining how gold can help diversify your IRA or 401k. Just text the word SECURE to the number 989898. There's no cost and no obligation. Just free information to help you consider your option. Take the first step with Birch Gold. Text the word SECURE to the number 989898.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Is that a new bump on your dog's neck? Or is that bump just a part of his neck? Could be a bug bite or something way worse.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Wait, there's another bump right by the first bump.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms. When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Football fans, it's time to draft your team and kick off another season. This year, take your fantasy football draft party to Twin Peaks. Cold drinks, made from scratch food, wall-to-wall TVs. Round up your league, grab a table, and get ready for the picks, the rivalries, and a full season of bragging rights. Start your fantasy season at Twin Peaks. Book your draft party at your local lodge today.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. He's ESPN 620.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Packers running back Josh Jacobs charged with